Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're D&D Boyband, a group of friends that all like to play D&D Pretty Boys, because apparently it's not fantasy unless everybody's hot, especially the NPCs. Oh, welcome back, Luke. This is an original D&D campaign set in the critical role world of Exandria. The group are far, once again, beneath the earth. They have solved a magical puzzle, taking them deep below, where they have fought two krakens, banished one, killing the other, before being reunited with former party member Rasha, who is okay.
Bit wet. bit covered in acid.
Who is covered in acid, but healed you all, and you're all about to explore the ruins of Solar. I'm Dungeon Master Jamie, and joining me tonight are the Spice Boys, just the Spice Boys, with Hannah missing, unfortunately. So, first of all, let me introduce Clood as Barnes, Eski as Zug,
Hello.
Sai as Aku, Luke as Askor. Yeah. And Aaron as Hayden.
Finger guns?
Finger guns. I'm now trying to think of like puns with guns and Ascor, but struggling. Mess with the Ascor, get the AR-15. I don't know.
The accent fits. The accent fits.
Is this like the America AU of our campaign?
Yeah, it's all just over. Just Ascor shot everyone.
Oh my God.
The National Rapier Association.
Moving on.
I like that. That was really good.
So, to get you up to speed on last week, most of last week, you guys were spent fighting two large krakens. Upon realizing that one of them had seemingly swallowed and be carrying around Rasha, you had a brief chat where you, I believe, have agreed to take Rasha and follow him deep into the ruins of Solar in an attempt to find out what's going on. You're not fully on board with his plans. He's probably not fully on board with yours. But you all have agreed to explore together and find out what is happening with Geb, with Piscathesis. That's how it's pronounced, I've decided now. The Avalith Queen, and what's going on. So you're all standing covered in blood and guts and acid and squid ink in this vast tunnel lit by bioluminescent light beneath it, with these weird green structures protruding out, the water all around you. You've looked back up to the entrance you came in, and it seems to have sealed. So, Spice Boys, what are you up to? What will you do? How will you begin exploring this place?
We sussed out the sun and moon compass, right?
Yes.
You see on one side.
Go on.
I have nothing more to say. I have nothing more to say. I'm not going down that road.
Wait, was it on your side? Wasn't there was a moon?
Yeah, there might have been on one
That
side.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
We're 5 seconds into the session and that's come up already. Here we go.
It's our new meme. It's replaced milk.
Yes.
That's called the meme machine.
He really is. Who'd have thought?
Okay, but we have this thing. We are broadly following it to go to the moon, right?
Yeah, you begin attempting to navigate these kind of rooftops. They are roofs, making your way through. You probably say 5-10 minutes of following this.
Did we decide to go? Because I was like short resting with a bunch of other people.
I think you decided not to short rest.
Oh, okay. All right. We're pressing on. All right. Pressing on.
Pressing on, but you can do it. As you're moving, a familiar voice talks to you again.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've got you all in one place, I do think it's time you made an entrance. And I'd say probably those with over 20 perception can, once you've glanced looking around, something large and luminescent is emerging or moving quickly towards you from the water below you.
Like living creature.
The longer you study it, the more it looks like some kind of algae. But you quickly realize it seems to be covering. You look down and it's all the water below you.
What do you mean by
I-
all the water? I mean,
As in, no matter where
yeah.
you look underneath you, as far you go down, there's a layer of this that is moving quicker towards the surface.
Oh.
In a small panic, Pascal let out a light yelp, bit of light yelping. And I'm going to burn 1 sorcery point to give myself hovering and flying speed equal to my walking speed.
Just fly
It can
away.
probably take us, given that Barnes is just sat cross-legged on the magic carpet, just with whoever fancies hopping aboard.
I am clutching whoever is closest on the magic carpet and staying away from the edge.
I think me and Nako are on the ground.
Then I am clutching
Chilling.
Barnes.
We're just holding each other's arms, just staring at the water like, oh shit, dude, the fuck is that? I hate it.
Same.
Oh boy.
So just manages to, oh no.
Okay, as it rushes closer to the surface, Aku and Zak, are you going to make an attempt to not be on the ground?
Wait, so hold on. Is the algae rising through the water?
It's spreading through the water
Or
towards
is the water
surface.
rising?
No, the water's not rising.
But we're not
Just
in
the
the
algae.
water. We're on the
No,
rooftop
you're on the
somewhere.
rooftops. Yep.
I guess stay. I mean, I can't. What am I going to do? Jump? Like, yeah, no, you just doesn't do
Has
anything.
anyone said anything? Because
I
I
can't
don't
fly.
have over 20 perception. That's for certain.
Yeah, neither of us do, so we haven't
yeah.
noticed.
I'd say that,
We're
I'd say
just
that
like
it's been
staring
it's
into
been-
each other's eyes, just
Yeah, I
like.
think-
Wait, who has perception high enough to see this? Because not me.
Barnes and Cass both do, and Barnes definitely
Yeah.
would have made a remark about that. He'd probably be like, is that a like sheet of light? The fuck? And point and look down.
Where's
I mean, okay, so
Casadius?
for context, how big?
saying Casadius is on the magic carpet.
Cool.
Touching Barnes' other arm.
I'm
Oh wait, hold
clinging
on.
to both of yous.
This is looking
Three-way
towards
hug.
Penny. Give me a
Mhm.
second. So like, how big is this rooftop that we're on, and how far above the water is it?
I'd say it's about 5 foot above the water. It's probably about 20 foot squarish.
Okay, so it's like slightly elevated off the water. It's probably
Yeah.
good enough for it to feel somewhat safe from something coming up, but you know, we'll see.
Sorry, okay. You all kind of like wait and watch thing. The algae kind of comes to
Yeah.
the surface of the water, stops, and just kind of rests there, filling this entire cabin with light. Those of you who've been here since the beginning, Aku, Askor, Zug, looking
Mhm.
down at this, there's something scratches or itches at the back of your mind. And long ago, you were at a temple to a champion of shit. Which the one Pike worships? I'm an idiot.
Right.
Ray, thank you. And you remember somebody touched this,
Yeah, and then
and it meant they could only breathe underwater.
Didn't we blow it up?
I think we did incinerate it eventually, but not
Yeah.
before
Oh, we tried to
suffering.
strangle
Some,
ourselves.
greatly. Yeah.
some of you had to breathe into buckets for quite a while. Buckets
Yeah,
of water.
Yeah. Oh, Rasha was there. He probably
We
nods in understanding.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Rasha
didn't have
knows
a
as
great
well.
time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest with. Wait, where's Zug's insight? Apparently, my passive insight is 17.
That's pretty
So I
good.
guess he's not a complete idiot, apparently. So yeah, he probably does recognize the algae, I guess.
Hmm.
But I doubt he remembers what it did. Like, you know, he's
What did
like, hey, it looks familiar.
Sorgonath said, "Now that I've got you all in one place, it's time for you to make your entrance."
Oh. I'm not sure if I have the implication. Are we to jump in the water and die in the tentacly depths, or is that what's going on?
Well, I'm wearing plate armor, so I'll just sink.
Right.
But that's the stuff that makes you breathe underwater. The weird algae.
Who does
I've
it?
seen it before. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we had a run
Rasha's like nods. I remember. I had to breathe into a bucket.
Yeah. We had a few people had to breathe into buckets for like an hour.
Barnes just laughs at the mental image.
I don't remember. It seems disgusting.
There wasn't so much of it before.
I suppose the question is, do we have to go into the water if we're going to head deeper into the ruins? I assume so.
I don't know.
Who's got the little compass? What's it saying? Is it saying go down or what?
I think did someone take it off me?
Yeah, someone took it off you. I can't
I think
remember.
Asadius took it off you.
Yeah.
This
Asadius looks
is
down.
doing what the spooky evil voice is telling us to do, kind of. Maybe not what we want to do.
Yeah, she seems like the opposite of what we should do.
Maybe it's trying to negotiate because it's so frightened of us.
Right, maybe.
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 Really good
He
point,
just
actually.
looks Zug up and down and like looks like he's trying not to laugh.
Oh, hold on. Wait a second.
We just killed the Krakens after all.
Look, if it was going to destroy us, just as it wanted to, it would do it. It wouldn't talk to us.
I'd like to see it try.
I think it is worried.
I think it
because
wants us to go down.
Because we are here to free Geb.
Right, I think it wants us to go free its like tentacle god, right? That's the vibe I'm getting. Want to steer us
Oh.
wrong?
Yes, that thing.
So Rashaval, that's strike number 1. The evil voice wants us to do it.
Well,
Keep
it's
that in
wrong.
mind in your assessment, yes? Running tally.
The evil aboleth that grants Asgore his powers.
Yeah, that one.
Yep, that's
Oh,
a strike
come on.
against me.
No, I think you're misinterpreting things. These powers are mine. Okay, this comes from within me.
Rasha just looks at you like any dumbfounded, like is that what Ghost said?
What? No, look. It comes from me. I've not made some deal with some kind of monster. I am what I am. I'm changed.
Yeah, who would make a deal with a monster in exchange for power, huh? That's crazy. Lost in Warlock.
Only a fool.
Truly, absolutely. So, are we going for a dive?
Well, I would like to maybe weigh up the other options that we have here. Perhaps there are other options other than going into the water.
Agreed.
What's the little compass doing? Like, does it have a Z axis? It's not like an XY, right? Does it?
No, it doesn't have a Z axis. It is it's you're still following it. It's not like spinning, indicating that it's like directly below you or above you. There's still some way to go. But Xadia's like, yeah, honestly, guys, I'm having some trouble reading this. It's I don't know if you've noticed, every time I look up, things change. It's maddening.
Well, I think look at the little doodad, not the place around us. Avoid
The
looking at the
doodad?
buildings. The doodad.
What's to do that?
The
Sun, moon,
compass.
contraption, right?
Oh, the compass.
Mm.
Why, what? I don't really understand how the compass is supposed to help us. Are we trying to find a moon or a sun? We're a long way from the sun.
It's in that book, right, Rashaval? Like, there's a big light in the middle that seems to have the compass pointing to it or something.
It's the center of the city.
Everybody knows that the city centre is where you want to be. It's where all the good restaurants are and all the expensive homes.
The CBD.
It's not going to Tad's confused. There are restaurants in here?
Probably, yeah, of course. It's an old city.
But it's like full of, it kind of waves his arm a bit, tentacly things.
Right, we're
Right.
probably the food. We're the buffet. They'll eat us.
You can't put
They
us on the menu. I mean, they don't know if we're going to be here or not. It's a very inconsistent menu.
It's like meat's finally back on the menu for them. I wonder how long it's been.
Well, it's going to have to be a bit longer. I'm not getting eaten anytime soon, especially not by a big squid.
Keep that attitude up and we'll all be fine.
I mean, I'm not getting devoured by anything.
Yeah, how was that, by the way? And he turns to Rasha.
Oh, right. You were
You know-
eaten by a squid.
It could have been much worse. I kind of had Yev's protection.
Aku, how was getting eaten by a squid?
You get an absolute death stare. Probably the acid is like still burning at his like clothes. He like smells disgusting. Like half of his clothes are just ruined, and his hair is just like starting to like clot of just gunk.
Oh no.
Did you want to clean, buddy? I could probably clean you if that'd make you feel better.
You can do that.
Magical cleaning, yeah.
Will it actually clean me, or just make
It'll
me...
actually clean you. I could mend the tears and everything. Swift little tricks. He kind of like finger guns some little sparks out.
you want?
Kind of like,
He
guides
definitely looks like
What's-
he wants you to clean it.
he like guides.
What's both of your passive insights?
Ooh.
Passive insight. Not
16.
very-
Somehow lower than my perception.
Yeah, it's fine.
How does Zug have a higher
He's
passive
not very
insight
subtle.
than
Well,
you?
well.
As Barnes goes over and like prestidigitations Aku, Rasha turns slightly away and huffs.
Okay, well, I don't know.
You know,
I'm a 12, so...
Barnes does and definitely keeps going. But he like wheels the magic carpet and just sort of like follows Aku behind for a little bit, just giving him little sparks and fixing tears and like sprucing him up, and maybe styles his hair for him in the process.
styles his hair.
Just gives it a little fluff. If it's looking a bit limp and wet, maybe he dries it. Quick blow dry.
Hayden gives
Or
an
like a
approving
magic
nod.
blow dry. Is he just like using his like, magic?
Yeah, I'll probably turn to Hayden and like go for thumbs up or be like, "Do you like it? Maybe we could do," you know. It's a collaborative process. We fix Aku.
Yeah, it looks fine. Yeah, whatever. And he's clearly not trying not to look
No
crappy.
Wait, aren't we gonna jump in the water? Oh my god! What a waste of time.
I feel like
Are we?
what a waste of time sums up a lot of the dialogue that goes on.
Yeah.
in life, let alone D&D.
Yeah.
You're saying styling hair is a waste of time? Because it ain't. But, okay, so are we jumping in the water or are we going to keep following the compass above water level?
I feel like we had a great phrase for conversations that are a little bit of a waste of time once upon a time.
Oh, we did, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Rasha goes incredibly stony faced.
Oh, that'll chestnut. Anyway,
Yes,
Hayden
found it hilarious.
Hayden looks a little bit uncomfortable at the suggestion of going underwater sooner than we have to, and he says, if it's okay, maybe we stay on the carpet for as long as we can.
I think that's wise. Although, did you say that, like, algae stuff helps you breathe underwater? Maybe we could, like, collect some of it? So if we do need to go down, we have it accessible.
It's currently covering every surface of water you can see.
Or, never mind, that is a stupid suggestion because
That's
it's
okay.
everywhere. Yeah.
If you're going to continue searching above the rooftops, could I get survival checks from everyone?
Yeah.
I'll roll one for Cassadius.
Should I roll for Rasha?
I can roll for Rasha.
Oh.
This Rasha's got
boy.
secret
Do I
stat.
get? I'm right next to.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's a check, not a thing. I don't get a bonus, right?
Yeah.
Survive.
Nice.
I got 17 though.
Wow, Cassadius rolled a 19 and Rasha rolled a 17.
Dang. I rolled
15.
16.
Yeah, standard 19 from you, boy.
What the hell? This is okay.
Alexa,
I'm
play
a
those
survivor.
Oh, and then go.
Okay. Cool, thanks, Eski.
We researched in great detail
I
aboleth
just
guns.
forgot about that completely.
Yeah, great research. You guys masterfully jump across, like those on the carpet, masterfully like sit on the carpet. Those on the rooftops,
It's so well.
excellently jump over, avoiding touching the algae, avoiding spending too much time looking at your surroundings, focusing on the compass, and you move at quite rapid pace given all the issues and worries. I'd say walking, jumping for about an hour through this cavern underground. The compass keeping going in a certain direction. It doesn't seem like it's erratically moving. So whatever you're moving towards, you are certainly you're probably making progress. With all those rolls, none of you become too transfixed on your surroundings, although it is unnerving down here. It is cold, but you are all aware, constantly feeling like you're being watched.
Hans probably tries to break the tension by playing a happy game of I Spy, but quite quickly runs out of things that aren't building, stone, algae, cave, and stuff on their belongings. But, you know,
So
that's...
kind of starts off dismissively saying it, but gets more and more excited with each answer. After like 4 or 5, he's like clearly quite invested.
Okay. Could I have another set of checks?
DM wasn't happy with it.
No.
Survival.
Survival?
Oh, no.
I
My
rolled
survival was a
higher.
5.
A
Not
5.
great.
17.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's a natural 20.
Ah.
Nice.
You know, I knew you'd
least
roll
you're
a natural
keeping us
20 there, Luke. I don't know why, but I just knew it.
Because Luke complained about me, and their universe rewards him. Is what. Aku,
Mine's a 12.
12, and Barnes,
19.
19, and Hayden.
17.
Okay, all of you, apart from Zug, again, managed to move quite quickly. Zug, it's not that you fall in the water, it's that through a partial crack in the algae, you look down and you see as your reflection, as your eye in it, somebody stabs you in the neck, and you just see like a dagger protruding out and blood beginning to pour out. And could you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, look in the water, Mr. Problem.
That's
Uh,
cool.
is
Reflection
this a
scary.
spell? Is this a spell cast within 5 feet of me?
No.
Fuck.
Oh.
Okay. I got 19.
Yeah.
19.
19. Okay. You look down and you clear, and it's weird because like you could look and you were standing in a room. No, you realize the reflection isn't, and you pull your eyes away for a second. You succeed. The next attack that would hit you, as you get a glimpse into the future, the next attack that would hit you will miss. Could you mark that down?
Yeah. Okay.
The rest of you, however, as you are making rapid pace through this cave, you find that there is a point on top of a roof that you kind of jump between. The compass begins spinning.
Wait. I think we're here.
And if you look
Where's here?
down through the mess of algae, there is a shimmering silver light protruding upwards.
Oh, I think you're right. But where is here? The city center, but... Like, is there anything of note beyond the shimmering silver light?
As in, the light is coming up through the water. I mean, you can probably all reason that it's down there.
Hayden peers
Yeah.
over the edge of the carpet and then looks at the compass spinning and then looks at the rest of the party and says, "Well, guys, it was good, but this is as far as I go, so I'll wait here with the carpet, and good luck down there.
Oh no, it'll be fine in the water, Hayden. Don't worry about the carpet.
No,
I'm sure it'll be
it's-
nice and refreshing.
you know what? Dry cleaning costs really high in Amon. I think it's just better if I wait here with the carpet, and you guys go down there and deal with what you need to do."
It's no harder to
Floating-
clean than Aku. I can just...
As you guys chat, all looking at Hayden, something small, humanoid, rises out of the water behind Hayden.
I don't
Limp-
like this.
The limp, face down body rises out, almost like, you know, when it's being held, but kind of upwards, and just floats for a second above the waterline.
What the
Body
fuck?
of... do we get
Yeah,
glimpse of
looking
whose
at as
body
you
it
kind of
is,
turn
or-
around, you see it's like ragged cloth clothes, mostly sodden, kind of wet greasy hair, slightly overgrown, of what seems to be a fairly young male human child.
Human child? Huh. A child.
Oh,
Is
Probably
it a
not.
ghost?
maybe.
Oh, that's. Well, that's just
Asgore turns to Aku and
that's
says,
just poor
Don't
taste,
you-
really, isn't it?
"Do something about this thing."
He looks mildly offended.
Is that
before
kind of
going over and
orcs? Wait, how
body.
far away is it from the? Like, the...
It's if you guys are all hovering, I'll say it's about 3-4 foot off the ground now, and you guys it's about you guys are about 10 foot away from it.
Does it?
Yeah, but is it how close to the edge of like our standing bit is
The
it?
roof, it's like 2-3 feet out.
Okay, so it kind of walks over, like pulls out his axe and just kind of pokes it with the axe.
Yeah, it kind of like flips in
Hello?
the air, almost
You
as if
alive?
it's like almost as if that's where he is, and it kind of floats up, and you see him turn up, and you see that the eyes are wide open and completely pale, and the mouth is just kind of hanging. The skin is wet,
Away.
but it doesn't look like it's rotted or bloated.
I don't think he's very alive.
Nope.
Does he look like anyone we recognize?
Now we
Uh,
can see the face.
Can all make perception checks.
I was about to, is it perception or insight?
Perception, I'll say to recognize.
18.
I'm not gonna get anything.
14.
4. Zark has never seen. I've never seen this man in my life before.
It's literally you.
I'm gonna say based on those rolls, none of you recognize this child.
A child.
And that's
Yay.
why I'm not going swimming. Because I'm not going to end up like that. So I'm going to stay here and look after the carpet.
Understandable, Hayden.
And I guess I'll also look after this guy, and he'll point at the body.
And the body snaps to a
You wanna-
stand-up position
Oh,
slightly too quickly.
Aku
the
just like
eyes-
nudges Hayden and goes, "Are you sure you want to stay alone with that?"
And the eyes
Hayden jumps
Sorry,
and
to go-
hides behind Aku.
and the eyes go to a cat's eye.
What the fuck? I hate
And
this.
the very unnaturally, not like muscles are moving, but almost as if it's kind of thing. This takes one step onto the platform and stands there and kind of puts its hand together like this.
hello.
So it turns out it's not dead. It's just
No, one dead thing to another. I would say that's probably dead.
what? But it's standing there, looking at me.
And as,
Hello, little guy.
and as it
Can I-
opens
can
its
I
mouth,
help you?
water kind of splurts out for a second, and then
Yeah, cough it all out.
While cowering behind Aku, Hayden's like, smite it, smite that thing right now.
Don't smite the child. It's a child.
I don't care, smite it.
It's a child. What's it gonna do? He's just standing there like. How
it's
tall
like
is this
that.
thing?
That child's messed up.
It ain't a child no more.
How tall is it?
About 3 foot.
You're gonna turn to Ada. It's a child. It's fine. It's fine.
It's not.
I'm not sure it's fine at all.
Okay, maybe it's not fine.
There's
but,
nothing
you know.
fine about this.
Dead child, what's up? Are you good?
Yeah, and then it seems to lower its head, almost in bowing deference.
Is it bowing at
hello?
anyone in particular? Is it like
It kind of does it. It kind of does it, and then it turns to, and then does a more sweeping one, seemingly to all of you.
Thank
Aku
you for
smite
your-
it before it summons its
Who?
friends.
Sorry, to who?
So it seemed to go down initially to the first person who spoke to it, which I think was Barnes, and then it kind of turns and does a more sweeping bow with kind of just to all of you. Again, this is all incredibly unnatural. Like, this is not the way the human moves. It's a bit janky and almost like a bit too abrupt in some cases. Like, there is whatever is controlling this. There is no care for how a normal body's like
Human
muscles
move.
and bones move together.
This is
that
not the
looks
way
unnatural.
human moves.
That doesn't
Sorry,
look
that's
natural.
Thanks for your warm welcome. How do we get to Geb?
Don't tell it that.
Greetings.
Oh,
I am the advocate, and it is my pleasure to welcome allies to Salah.
Allies?
Score whispers. He's
My
alive.
my liege wishes to thank you for your service against the lords of the abyss.
Does the
I'm
names
confused. So you're not with
The lords of the abyss. Was what
the
he said.
big krakens, the ones that tried to kill us? You know, that's not you.
So he turns to Sug. I fear this place is in much disrepair, and creatures beyond my liege's control inhabit it.
Does
Oh,
the name Solar, does that sound familiar to us?
He didn't call himself Salah.
Or you said
Oh, no,
well,
sorry, Salah, the ruins of Salah. This is the city. This is
Ruins
where
of
you are. You know that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we know it's.
Okay.
So is your liege like Gab or Solgrenath or like Pisky, the big one? Piscathes, Piscathes.
Is what you have named, my liege. You must have many questions.
I'm good actually. Well, I'd like to know how to get to Gab, but like, guys, any questions for the advocate? Is that your name?
Aku kind of motions to Rasha.
Zach kind of
Like-
puts his axe on his back and he kind of like leans down on his knees and he goes, "Where are your parents, little one?"
As he looks at
Classic
you.
Zug moment.
Far above in the city.
Oh, you're a long way from home.
Slightly perplexed. I'm not certain about this line of questioning.
I just want to make sure you're safe, you know? Like, it's a dangerous place around here, not safe for a child.
Zug, he's literally dead. I don't think that there's safety.
He's not dead, he's talking to me.
I've been talking to you the entire time, and I am also dead.
You're not dead, you just say you're dead, but you're not dead, you're clearly alive, you're talking.
He like just snaps his own wrist and puts it back in, and just like
Ugh. Don't do that, that's disgusting.
the whole time, man.
Yeah, but you're not dead, you know, you're alive, dead.
Debate that with the advocate, but I am okay.
So he's
Rasha-
alive, dead. Are you? And he turns to the Are you alive, dead, or dead, or alive?
I'm a simulacrum of my liege's will.
A simulacrum.
Very cool.
He looks at Barnes. Does that make sense to you?
It's like a magical clone. It's like a sort of repetition. Yeah,
A
we used to use
clone?
them all the time, right? You just sort of make a simulacrum of yourself to go do shit that you didn't particularly want to do, and then you hated yourself for making your other self do it, and sometimes we fought our own selves over it, but...
Stares at you looking more and more confused. Wait, so is it dead or alive?
It's sort of not either, to be honest, if it's a simulacrum. Sort of just is.
This hasn't answered any of my questions.
I'm
I'm just more confused now than I was
pats
before.
him on the arm. Rashaval, have you got any questions for the Piscathes guy?
Yes. Where can we find? Yep. Both lie. And kind of points downwards, and we have been waiting. We must thank you all properly.
So hold on.
So fucking sus.
If you're Team Piscathes, like the Abelet Queen, right? That means you're
That
anti-Team Gab. You're not friends. You're enemies, correct?
We do not think in terms of enemies. Obstacles.
Alright then. The jailer of your liege is Gab, so an obstacle, right?
Yes.
So if we're Team Gab, are we also obstacles to you?
You are allies. You have avenged and stopped the slaughter of my liege's children.
I am thoroughly confused.
Sorry, exactly how did we do that?
Do you not remember your various battles with the demon lords who had betrayed our pact?
Hayden, you hear Askel's voice in your head say, "Take credit, goddammit. You want to get paid around here?"
Zogtami and Orcus, banished by your hands after their betrayal.
Oh, those ones. Oh yeah, we're definitely not friends with them. They're very
Ones
bad.
whose heinous rituals using the corpses of our children.
Oh.
What? I don't understand.
Okay, so
How's
long
it
ago,
clicked?
many years ago, when you guys were in the Underdark for the first time, Zugtami was
Yeah.
using a corpse of the Aboleth to sustain her existence in the corporal world, and so was Orcus.
Oh.
And you found that there had been an agreement between the Aboleth and the Demon Lords to basically assist each other, and the Demon Lords had turned around and just started slaughtering Aboleths the second they could.
Rip.
Unlucky. Guess that's what you get for being a big squid.
Maybe Aboleths weren't the bad guys after all.
Mm.
I don't say that, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Hold
we're
on,
actually
so
all
wait,
friends.
you're not trying to kill us.
Surround. Certainly not.
What was that first word you just said?
Certainly not.
Oh, he just kind of sheathes his axe. Oh, all right then. That's a relief. I was-
Solgreneth and the others went to great expense to bring you all here together.
But he also like mind blasted Ascor and turned him into a gooey mess and made him eat flies. So
An unnatural
that's true.
consequence.
A natural consequence of what?
Sorry, an unfortunate consequence of Askor's overexposure to Solgreneth's expansive mind.
but like Cecil
Oh.
Cecil for Tomp or whatever, he was trying to, also kill us all. He put us in mind space. Is that a consequence or is that an active attempt on our lives and sanity? That's sort of what it felt like.
You are here. Did that not bring you here?
Oh, I guess because we were attacked, it sort of made us come down. Wait, is the apocalypse real? Or did you just say something scary to make us come down here?
You have many questions, and I hope we will be able to answer them all.
So, do we ask you the questions, or we can
You
look
can
around?
ask me here, and
Oh.
more down there.
Is it true you have restaurants?
What?
Down there.
Legend after legend.
Feeding grounds.
Feeding.
Right.
That sounds a little
Zug wants
different
to-
from what I asked.
Zug wants to visit the Aboleth Krusty Krab.
That's what I said. We're meals on wheels, dude. Or on a carpet, as it were.
Oh. Wait, I feel like that didn't answer my question, child.
As aboleths are unable to use hammers or wear shoulder pads, they also cannot use knives and forks.
So
Hmm.
it's like a eat with your hands kind
He
of
looks
thing.
pointedly at Rasha, who looks like sheepish.
What do Aboleths eat?
That's a good question. What do they eat? For the
They
questions you asked us.
ensnare wildlife that comes into their lair,
And we're
coax
not
it.
Like us.
we're not wildlife. Just to confirm, we're not part of the wildlife. Would the aboleths eat us if we were to walk into one of your feeding grounds?
You had not demonstrated your immense value and worth to our cause. You have.
I feel like that's kind of eat us to the group. I feel like that's a they would eat us, but they're not going to kind of thing. Like a
Right. We are
Well,
definitely.
you eat animals, but you don't eat your dog, do you?
he has a point. He has
That's
a
the
point. He
Does
has a
that
point.
make us your dog?
was merely an analogy.
I'm more of a cat person personally, but
You don't eat your cat, do you?
Hey, you don't eat your cat. He's got a point. He's got a point. You don't eat your
does
cat.
I mean,
not
if I was
quite, he
really
does.
hungry,
Well, I
then
feel
I'd
relatively
do it.
satisfied in the fact that we're not
Wait.
going to get.
Aku, you can't eat your pet cat. What's wrong with you?
When Aku says he'd eat a cat, like
If I was starving and it was between me and the cat, then I would choose me, obviously.
Yeah, but
gonna
we're not
have
talking
problems,
about
Aku.
if you're starving, Aku. We're
Right.
talking about if you just your
I'm
cat
not-
walks
right,
into the
right,
room.
right.
Would you eat it?
Hold
You're
on.
frustrated by the the question, and because I'm going to the bathroom, his eyes go white and it just hangs limply while you clear to have this discussion. I will be right back.
On a personal level, if I was somewhere and it had been cooked well, and if I was offered dog meat or cat meat, I would try it.
Okay, but it depends on
I mean, I
if
would
it's
too.
your
Yeah,
pet
in
cat
person,
or
I
pet
would.
dog.
Yeah. No, I would not eat my own dog.
If it was like
No,
a
hold on,
wild
wait,
dog.
in character, obviously. You did it.
No,
Sometimes I could go, yeah, but you wouldn't eat your cat if it walked
Circle of
into the
life.
room and it was just there. You wouldn't eat. We're not talking about survival. I think.
I
I
mean,
think.
if I
And
had a cat, then maybe I
he turns
would.
to the young child. I mean, are they surviving? Wait, is this a survival deal? How much wildlife do you think they even get down here?
I haven't seen
It
you
wasn't very easy to
guys.
get here.
I haven't seen you guys as passionate about anything, like literally anything, the entire time I've been with you.
Well, not many things try and eat us in the day to day. Like it's
No,
you know,
they
it's-
do
it's quite-
actually.
No, I'm
Mac, hello.
I mean, they try and stab us, but they don't try to
The-
eat us. It's
The
not kinda
advocate's
different.
eyes reopen.
Like those krakens, they tried to eat us. In fact, they did eat him. And he points to
Mhm,
Aku.
Yep.
So I think there's at least a relatively high chance that they will try and eat us. Like
Yeah.
maybe,
I'm with Sug.
like maybe they don't eat all of us. You know, like maybe they'll just eat some of us.
It's a non-zero chance.
Yeah. Look, he turns to the kid. I'm not going anywhere until I get a guarantee that no one here is going to get eaten.
I want to clarify, I've not been seasoned particularly well, so if you're gonna eat anyone, eat me last.
I'm
'Cause-
dead,
No,
so
no,
that
he-
might
he looks at
supersede.
No, don't talk,
What?
don't talk like that. No, nobody's getting eaten. It's not a matter of who's getting eaten first or last. Nobody's getting eaten. Nobody. We're not. No one's getting eaten. Okay.
My mate's 900 years old. It's probably really chewy. I
Can
wouldn't
you
do
stop
it if I were
making
you.
excuses? I just want a guarantee. I don't. Because you're just implying that I'd get eaten first, and I don't like that. I
Oh,
don't
you
like that at
would.
all.
You're
I mean,
pretty
you
meat. You're a
you
meaty
got the most
guy.
meat on you, so.
Mm.
Mm.
This is exactly what I'm trying to say.
Maybe a little tough though, don't you think?
You're really not helping my cause.
I heard orcs taste good.
I'd not eat a cat, but I would eat Zug.
am aware that your customs are queer, but it is not.
What's you saying about me?
I mean,
Ah!
he's not wrong.
But it is not.
Is you're right.
But I understand it is not commonplace to eat guests.
It is definitely not commonplace to eat guests.
For vampires and that sort of the whole thing. You're not a vampire. Sorry, you're not going to eat us. Is that a guarantee?
Look, I think
I
I
am
speak
not
for
going
everyone.
to eat you.
You are not going
Not
to eat us. But is
I. I mean,
anything going
I
to
see
eat
a
us?
Yeah,
Loophole
we're not.
in
Look,
that.
look, that sounds like. I feel like he's talking quite. You're being a bit facetious. I'm not gonna lie. Like
That's
we
a
just
word.
want a normal guarantee. You know that we're not gonna get eaten. I know. I read it in a book once.
To the best of my knowledge, nothing is intending to eat you.
I insight
I
check
am-
the advocate.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Me too, audience. I checked the
Oh, okay. Don't worry, boys. We'll have our answer. We'll have our answer. That's an
Oh my
18
god.
plus. Oh, it's actually only... Okay, 24.
I got 11.
Very nice.
The floating, emotionless, eyed corpse of this child, like how clearly the voice coming from somewhere else, sounds bemused, but you don't detect like treachery in it.
Look, I think I think we could take him from his word.
I'm
honestly.
sort of getting good vibes, actually. Bizarrely.
Yeah, I think he's genuine. I think he's genuine. I don't think we're gonna get eaten.
I think the
we're
vibes are good. Yeah.
So does that mean we need to go into the water, like down, to meet your liege?
That is where she currently resides.
Hmm.
I just want to be clear, like, what are the expectations for us going down there? Because, like, our intention is that Rashaval here has some things he'd like to see and affirm and check with himself before we decide on a course of action. So I just want to make sure there's no, like, direct expectations for us to do stuff apart from just hang out with y'all and have a look around.
You know what? Maybe, Testabuzz, maybe we could apply for like some sort of a tourist visa.
You are being invited to tread where mortals have not for untold millennia.
Sounds like we don't need a visa.
Ooh, that's older than me.
I just don't want any trouble with the guards. You know, I haven't been to this city before, and I had some issues with some guards quite recently, actually. And you know, I don't want to get eaten, and I don't want to get arrested. Those are the only two things I ask.
Hold
I
on.
don't think.
I want to
You
ask.
ask none of the
Maybe
questions
the
I
white
expected.
Would you maybe tell us some of the things that you think we should know? Sorry, Asgore, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say, inquire, really. Now you've invited us in. We have the choice, and he looks at his companions, to decline. What happens if we decline?
Well, then we don't get our visa, don't we? Oh wait, we don't need one.
Zug?
You will
Sorry.
struggle to explore this city without guidance.
Why?
This place is not meant for you.
Why?
It was not made for you.
Who was it made by?
It's made for us, by us.
And you're the advocate of who exactly?
Any ontological framework is a mistake from the start, but the name, Piscathes, is what she perhaps could be named. Mortals gave her this name and this gender, for it is comforting to think of her in terms that you can understand. To those that can conceive of her, her formless, mindless unthoughts congealed into the matter
I'm going to stop you
of
there.
real
She
space
seems
that all life ever
a little
sprung from.
difficult, okay? That's a lot of ego.
That's so cool, actually.
I didn't understand much of that.
She's like she's like a concept rather than like. Damn.
Concept.
Have you
For
ever
this-
met anybody who said that before? Come on.
Before this, we adherents followed as she traveled across the least known dimensions of infinite worlds, like a blood clot tumbling through the vasculature of probability. Where it was fitting for her flesh to spread, it does. And thus she does, emanating life into new realities. A seed that inevitably grows into something that is gifted with thought. She is the mother of our reality, whether you appreciate her gifts or not.
I mean, she sounds like she's got all the bases covered.
Sounds like
And
a
yet,
That's a good summary, yeah.
she is trapped. And she wishes only to move on.
Right.
to
so
move on.
She becomes untrapped and she continues to tumble through.
Tinder.
She continues to tumble through the vasculature of reality, spreading her flesh. Is that
Which
That's what-
all life emanates.
so? Then it's like a big
There are
tumor.
1,000 dead
creates-
worlds and dead realities caused by her imprisoning here. The stagnation of the universe.
But our reality and and all that, the world we're on, that'll be fine if we let her go. She'll just zoom around and do a bit of tumbling and fix the dead ones. Tumble a bit.
I am her advocate, not her will entirely.
Mm.
Her mind
So-
is beyond mine.
Right,
You know-
you're an advocate, so you're sort of like a hype man. So you're going to tell us good stuff about her. The notion of
She is acceptable.
she.
Hmm.
Fuck
Look-
me, I need Bespin. I don't understand. He's smarter than I am.
Zuck
Fuck.
goes to Aku. She goes, you know, I was once guarding an art gallery, and it sounds a lot like that when people were talking about the art. A lot of words. Didn't understand many of them.
If you're the advocate, who would you consider the opponent.
Does. Do you need an opponent, or merely the unknown?
Well, if you're advocating, there's gotta be a different perspective somewhere.
No perspective is also a perspective.
Which is completely unhelpful in reality.
Advocates exist to convince regardless of existing opinion.
I mean, I'm hearing from you that you're maybe somewhat biased.
Impartiality is a fool's pursuit.
Mood.
Right.
Yeah, one question.
Yeah.
TDM.
Yeah, no, I'm here. Yeah.
How blasphemous does this sound on a scale of 1 to 10 to Aku?
Pretty blasphemous.
Solid
Describing a creature as the mother of all realities to god worshippers is an interesting perspective.
9? Maybe an 11 then. Okay, gotcha. Thanks.
Well, boys, I don't know. Do you want to go for a swim with the advocate, or I don't know what the other option is really.
I'm not leaving.
You're not leaving, but
I intend to find what is happening.
so you'll go with it. You'll not like decline the offers of guesthood and go down yourself.
Hold out the compass and clearly this is where I'm meant to go.
You want to do it on their terms or your own?
I don't.
Ponders that. They know we're here, don't they?
I suppose they do. They did send their strange child to us.
I suspect if we decline, it'll make no difference to accepting, to be perfectly honest. I imagine if this is their city, they have complete control of the space. It's right, we don't belong here. It's not for us. We can't even look at the surroundings. I fear if we mean to proceed, we might have little choice.
I attempt to find your own way.
Yeah, I like that you say attempt. Boys, just out of curiosity, we have ways to, bail the fuck out if it goes terribly, right?
I think so.
Yeah, sure.
You can do that teleporting thing, no?
I need a minute to draw pictures, and then I can go. Ask her. Yeah.
That's not very long. Minutes. We can survive a minute. I think.
Ascor takes a moment to answer, but he then ultimately says, I can get us out. As long as we stay close.
I guess monsters know, but do we have the... Do we have the amulet of plane shifting? Do we still have that?
I don't remember. I don't remember who had it.
Who had it?
We didn't trade it in, right?
Not that I recall, but who picked it up?
I feel like
Normally, most things go to Hayden, so.
I keep forgetting to update my inventory. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's probably in the bag of holding.
I think it'll be Jamie's call whether we have it or not. Let me check. I don't remember selling it.
No, we
No,
definitely didn't sell it.
because we heisted it. We went to a lot of effort for that thing. Maybe Hayden
Yeah,
would have had
that's
it because we were considering using
It's
it
the
for the
amulet of the
box.
planes, right? You do, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't we have it so we could no, we heisted it, and then Casadius went to go sell it, and then Asgore tried getting it off
Yeah,
of
Casadius sold it, right?
And then we heisted it after the selling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hand it in?
No, because we
No, we
heisted it from the meme guy's house
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
big clusterfuck heist, and then I think we just
Mm.
had it because we were going to use it to resolve the box puzzle before it was like, oh wait, it's a bomb. Haha, let's not do that.
Oh yeah.
So we just have the.
Did we?
Yeah.
We
Does
did.
Roman have it?
Did we hand it over to Roman or Essek? for some
Surely
reason,
Roman
as
would have
like a
given it back to us. Because, like, it would have been a bag of holding, I would have thought, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
it would be
I'm-
because none of us have
Like,
this.
I'm fine to
Rasha
let
or
you. I'm
Hayden.
fine. I'm fine letting you have it, but someone should be attuned to it.
To use it, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Do I even have?
Your boy
Spaces?
has no attunement slots, just FYI.
Yeah, I wanted to check my
Oh.
inventory.
I could unattune from my oath bow to use it, and I
I could
basically never-
unattune from a ring of poison resistance, but outside of that, thought it might be kind of useful. Wait. Does my ring of mind shielding do anything right now, or is it just like a bit fucked? Oh wait, I can't take it off, can I? Or can I?
No, you.
I can't
you
take it
ga-
off. Yeah,
you
no,
gave it.
yeah.
Yeah, you gave it to. Did you get it
Oh,
back
then I
to-
can, yeah, because I gave
Yeah.
it to Thingy, so I haven't
Yeah.
actually got. So yeah, no, I do have an attuned slot because I don't have a ring of mind shielding.
Okay. Should we say that Zug is attuned to it then?
Sure.
Yeah, Zug's just wearing it. He thinks it's pretty.
So you can visit
What
the
was-
windy plain anytime you want.
Yeah. Okay, so as a retcon, Zug took it because you told him it would get him out the windy plain if he ever got stuck there again.
Okay.
So he's very, very close to it. What's it called? Amulet of the Plains.
Get
The
that
place
bad
you
boy.
definitely didn't start a civil war.
Mhm.
Okay. What are you up to? Are you saying no to the advocate? You diving in? You're slapping him?
Hayden looks like less concerned about going with the advocate, but more concerned about just like going underwater. And he keeps kind of like doing like a bit of a nervous look over the side of the carpet at the water, and then being like,
I can use this like as many times as I want, as long as I pass the
Yeah.
intelligence check, and if I fail, I just go anywhere.
God.
Oh god, the intelligence check! Why could give this to Zach?
Oh, I have plus
None of us are
zero
smart.
intelligence. Legit,
None of us are
is,
smart,
it is
though.
like a 50-50. It's less than a
Oh my
50-50.
God.
End up in a random place if we fuck up. Well, we can get out. Just you're probably ending up in the winter place.
I bet we gave it to Roman because he was the only one with a brain cell between us.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Inside,
I do like the idea that we gave it to Zug though. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
Shenanigans are always entertaining.
I'm down for shenanigans.
Yeah.
What were we gonna say, Sai?
inside everyone except obviously the spooky child and Rasha's mind, people are gonna hear. If I'm completely honest, if it were my choice, we would leave straight away. Having said that, Rasha going down by himself, I feel that could cause more harm than good.
Yeah, I agree. He's liable to do something incredibly stupid, I reckon.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah,
leave
he's
him.
definitely not going down alone. Definitely not. None of that.
Aku, you hear in your head Nasco's voice. Aku, I feel like at some point we need to talk about this. About Rasha.
As and when you like.
Maybe when we travel. Not now.
You see him give a slight nod, obviously not noticeable to anyone that isn't part of that conversation.
So we're going then. All right, scary little child. I think it's a yes. We'll hang out with you and go down there and go see Geb and Biscippies.
I'm pleased you have accepted the offer. And the hands come out, and the water begins to rise. filling the entire cavern.
Barnes is probably gonna look to Hayden, and if he looks like he's like proper panicking,
Yeah, Hayden's like
he's
shaking right now.
he's probably gonna take one of his hands and just say, Hayden, it's alright, we're with you. And if you start to worry, I can fix it magically, alright? Just give me a nod. If you want that.
I really don't like this. Fuck. And he's gonna like almost like start trying to like swim as like the water starts rising. Like,
What, like when
The
you
minute
put
all
dogs
of
into
you
the water and they just start paddling before they're even in the
Uh,
water.
Hayden, it's,
Yeah.
Hayden, it's kind of as you all rise, the algae rises. It happens to all of you, but Hayden, it's the most disconcerting. The second the algae touches any of you, you start, you're unable to breathe.
Right before it touches Zug, he goes, "Oh god, not this again."
Oh, that's so traumatizing for Hayden.
oh no, Hayden's
Probably the last thing Vaughn says before it goes down will be like, you're not in the river, don't worry.
Why would you remind him of that?
Well, no, like, it's a trauma.
Hayden straight up starts having a panic attack as soon as the algae
Like right
touches
before
him.
we go underwater and start maybe drowning, just remember you're not dead.
So
like
as
that
you all
time.
kind of can't breathe air, the second you go beneath the water, you can you breathe as
What does it sound like when we try and talk? Is it just kind of
yeah, you can't talk.
Interesting.
Wait, does that
Open up
mean
the
we
WhatsApp
can't
channel.
cast verbal component spells?
No, you can cast the spells because you're like the sound waves still happen. It's just they don't travel, so you just can't.
Right.
Other people can't hear them.
Yo, I'm gonna drop a calm emotions and give Hayden 1 minute of peace.
Thank you. Yeah, that's enough for like you guys notice that like even as you all start being able to breathe normally when the water rises, Hayden is still like panicking and like grabbing at his chest and throat as if like he still can't breathe because he's just too panicked to like realize it's fine until Barnes casts his spell and then like he kind of like calms down for a minute and takes like a deep breath.
Some breathing exercises with him.
He's kind of like wringing his hands like kind of nervously, but he's definitely a lot calmer than he was a couple seconds before.
Please follow me. And you see the child not swimming, floating downwards into the depths below.
Can we like cling to the carpet? Can it like drive us like a little scuba vehicle?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
As you all make your way down, could I get perception checks from everyone?
Yeah, why not?
I don't even know why I do perception checks. Like,
Funny.
hey, I actually rolled well. I got 20, not a natural 20.
9.
I'll roll for Casadius and Sean. Okay. Aku?
18.
18. And Hayden?
Sorry, is this a perception check?
Yeah.
It is a 17.
Okay, cool. So two people got 20s?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rasha got 20 as well. Casadius got 14. Those of you under 14, it's dark. Under 15, it's dark. You look around, it's the same green architecture. You're not 100% certain of your surroundings as you move down, and it's cold. You are just allowing yourself to be guided by the small figure in front of you and the carpet bringing along. Those of you 15 to 20, you make out along the side 4 structures you think initially, but as you kind of get closer to them, as you're moving down, you see that they're not the same green material that everything else is made of. These are stone. But everything else here is kind of the same bioluminescence glow, and you initially mistook it for this, but these are glowing ever so slightly, almost entirely of their own accord, and they're humming. And as you get a little close to them, they're warm. The water around them is warm. Those of you who would have read the things, and Aku, I think as well, will remember that the pillars of creation, the pillars of the earth, sorry, potentially are around here somewhere, and you might summarize what these could be. 20s, as you're making your way down, there are, for all of you, even those who don't roll this, it seems as though there are things moving out of the corner of your eyes, and as you whip your head back and forth, you don't see them. Those of you with 20s, you occasionally get the flash of a fin, the movement of a tentacle slithering along the outside of a wall, an eye flashing for a second, and as you look down, as you move closer to the bottom of the sea floor, of the lake cave, whatever it is, you occasionally see crevices, flat surfaces. Every now and then, there is just a gigantic tentacle laying there, completely unmoving. In some places, you see what might have once been a large corpse of some underwater creature that seems to have been picked to the bone. It's almost a mercy down here when you can't see so far. And a minute goes past, 2 minutes. It is cold. Could I have constitution checks from everyone?
I feel
Constitution
temperature.
saving throws, sorry. So you can all have Aku's bonus.
Am I-
Sorry, what?
Wait, Aku's bonus is a flat 4?
Barnes, don't worry.
What's Aka's bonus?
Plus
4 or
4.
5?
Okay, so it's 23 then.
Ooh. Rolled. Well, it's an 8, so it's a 12 with Aka's bonus.
17.
A 15.
Okay, no, you all managed to push through the cold and swimming down here. Might get harder as you go along, but as you're moving, are any of you talking to each other via Aku, or are you all just focused on your task?
After we've been traveling for a little bit and Barnes' spell wears off, Hayden's kind of trembling a little bit still because he's still pretty stressed out and scared of what's happening, but he's managing to hold it together. But he's being pretty quiet because he's just focusing on trying not to panic being underwater in the aboleth lair. So.
Does he look like he's dressed? Visibly?
Yeah, he's visibly stressed, yeah.
Mm.
And you guys know that normally, Hayden Motormouth, can't stop chatting. Him being quiet is, usually, him, there's something going on.
Who is probably gonna swim over to Hayden when he notices that calm emotions has worn off. And he's just gonna, sort of grab Hayden's shoulders and just, stop him swimming just for a few moments. And I guess Hayden is now kind of more accustomed to breathing underwater, but Aku is sort of just pretty soothingly rubbing his shoulder and his neck, potentially where he's felt like he was struggling to breathe, and it's a reassurance, I guess, considering what the both of them went through, that he's there, and Hayden, you'll hear in your mind, we're okay. Just don't panic.
Yeah. Yeah. I just. What if the algae just stops working? We're so far underwater. We can't make it to the surface.
We'll be fine. We have a fair number of ways of getting out, and I can hold my breath pretty long. He looks confident. You might have to insight check whether that confidence is real or not.
I had free diving training, can last a whole 2 minutes.
Hayden looks unsure if he's convinced, but he kind of nods anyway and tries to focus on continuing to follow the group. Moving after everyone.
As you keep swimming, you notice that you're moving towards a hole in the ground, a large, seemingly tunnel that goes off and kind of goes into the dark. And as you swim down, you see kind of small, jagged rocks jutting out. The water is ever so slightly warmer around this point. And as the chart kind of sinks down, the rest of you do. those of you, I'll keep the perception checks going over. Those of you with 20s, notice that the small little jagged rocks as you swim down past kind of look like teeth.
Are they definitely rocks, or are they
we're,
actually...
just, we're just sinking into a mouth.
we're just feeding ourselves straight into the
What
apple.
did I say about getting eaten?
We are breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Very small
Dude,
snack.
we're
considering how
barely a
large this
little
thing is.
supplement.
Can
Um,
we perception check if these are actually teeth?
Yeah, go for it.
I rolled a 17.
You kind of go up, and these are teeth, tiny little teeth that you'd expect to see inside an octopus or large kraken, but on closer inspection, the rock around presumably was once flesh, has kind of morphed with sea into rock, and whatever this creature once was, humongous as you look above and see that all of you are comfortably swimming inside its throat. It's long dead, you think.
We
Okay.
think.
What's Rasha's vibe as we're swimming down?
Make an insight.
It's like 11.
You looking at Rasha. Rasha's never been. Rasha looks nervous. How could he not? In the same way, all of you. You notice him keep glancing over at each of you, and seems to be as nervous as the rest of you are.
Mm-hmm. And did Ascor say about talking about Rasha just to Aku, or was that open to the group?
Just to Aku. I mean,
Okay.
this diving point does probably represent an opportunity for Ascor and Aku to have that conversation. Sorry, Clood, was there something you wanted to?
No.
finish?
I just wanted to check in on what the vibe was.
Yeah, in that case, Aku, you'd probably hear it, the sort of slight crackling sound and a little bit of hair standing up on the back of your neck as that familiar sensation of Ascor sort of tuning in to your psychosphere. And it starts like, so we found our time to talk.
What do you want, Ascor? What's up?
Would you do it if you had to,
Do what?
Rasha?
Would I do, Rasha?
Come on.
Asking the important questions.
Even
I
that.
mean, would he though?
You know I'm being serious here.
You're asking me if, in the right situation, would I kill my friend? I mean, I already made that decision a long time ago, and the decision was no.
Okay. You're a man of conviction, to say the least. You're a holy warrior. If it came into conflict with your faith, then what?
I mean, all of this is in conflict with my faith. I don't let it rule all my decisions, though.
So that's it. You just wouldn't. Because he's your friend.
Well, Ascor, we're not in that situation right now, and I don't have to make that decision right now. So it's quite difficult to say, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, that's why I'm having the conversation now. It's a hard one to have. Best to not have it alone if you can avoid it. And best to not have it when seconds matter.
What about you? I mean, it's not my responsibility to hurt one of our friends if they choose to do something that could endanger us or the world. Could fall to you as well. Would you act? Is really the question. Because I feel like I know the answer. I feel like, yes, you would harm somebody here. But would you act is the real question.
Wait, what's the difference?
Would you be able to physically do it?
So, to ask myself what I asked you, in elongated terms, if my existence, all of existence, was under threat by a friend of mine, would I annihilate them? Yes.
I think the question is more, could you annihilate them, Askell?
I'm trying to answer that question to see if you would do it too. I'm being real here. If things go down, it's important to know who's going to do what.
That's fine. Why shouldn't it be you?
Pardon?
I said, that's fine. If we're sitting here and making the decision that if Rasha puts our lives in danger, that someone will have to act, why not you?
That's what I'm saying. Not just me. Why not a number of us? What you're implying is that all of fate should rest in my hands, which, frankly, I'm flattered. But I don't think it needs to come to that, does it?
Perhaps. Like I said, it
Perhaps.
really depends
Come
on
on.
the situation. I already made my decision, Askell. You can't expect me to go back on it now.
I was just trying to understand it. If it's ludicrous, it's ludicrous.
Well, perhaps Rasha's decision might not endanger all of us, just others. In that circumstance, I probably wouldn't act, depending what it was. But if some people were in danger, then perhaps I would. I couldn't give you a straight answer until it happened.
I've only heard 3 words there. Would, might, and maybe.
Yep.
What am I going to do with the rest of those words when they're tethered together by this thin mucus of non-commitment?
I don't know what you expect from me, Askell. I'm telling you that in most cases, I will not harm Rasha. There are only a few that I would, and I'm sticking to that. And there's nothing you can say now that's going to change my mind.
I'm not trying to change your mind. I can tell that's made up. I'm just trying to understand. So if you wouldn't mind letting me know, I don't know what those specific 3 scenarios are where you might save the world if it's threatened.
He looks like, well, he sounds, sorry, like he's being just annoyingly non-committal, but I think as somebody that knows Aku well, you probably realize that there's an element of where Aku doesn't feel sure. And yeah, I don't know, maybe like I would say you probably have to like roll insight to like.
I was going to say, DM, can I throw down a little insighty?
Sure.
Okay, let's make the insight incision. That leads us out to a 17. Oh, no, wait. Is it? Yeah, 17.
So I rolled a 13, but you get the good impression that he's trying to cover the fact that he has no idea if Lanharath would intervene in a situation like that.
And as at this point, you probably naturally sort of begun to swim, or whatever the word is for what we're doing down beneath the surface. So Ascor looks at you and says, well, thank you for your time and your answers, and just sort of breaks away.
What
He just grunts into your brain.
would you have us do, Aku? Lanarath.
Landrath says that to me.
Yeah.
Keep control over my own body so that I can make that decision.
Then think of me as a confidant. What would you do?
Man, Aku still has...
What would we do?
I feel like Aku doesn't have a solid grasp on the situation to know exactly what the outcome of swimming down and going to Aboleth means. So, in that scenario, Aku is just going to stay silent. And not give in to the, yeah. Doesn't want
I
to create
made
any gateway for Landrath.
this choice for us once before.
And you won't be doing it again.
We shall see. As you all swim down, you kind of, it opens up into a very open cavern. Like whatever creature you're swimming through, you come out the bottom and it's into another kind of smaller pocket of water. You see that the 4 warm pillars you were swimming before, they all seem to go down here, straight to the bottom into the sand and thing. And now you see that the pillars, there are intricate golden carvings across all of them, similar in design to much of the armor that Rasha is wearing. Many symbols of eyes, beautifully carved, intricately down. You perhaps recall Geb as the original architect of the Pillars of the Earth. And as you land on the sand, you do not know how far down you are, deep in this lake water beneath the surface. And the advocate kind of stands, arms folded, standing in the most open, empty cavern, except for these 4 pillars that you've seen, and just sand beneath your feet. He turns to you all and says, I'm glad the journey did not tax you all. It's a long way, deliberately hidden, that none may find it. And you see him kind of begin to brush his hand along the sand until he reveals what to you looks like, some of you would have seen them, snow globes. The thing in the picture on Roll20. He kind of marks it out, releasing it from beneath the sand until it is just there, alone.
How big
Poking
is
out of the
this thing?
sand. Tiny. It would fit in all your hands.
We can't
And it's
speak,
giving
can
off
we?
the entire, like the silver light. You can see it kind of piercing upwards, kind of breaking up the point and filling this cavern. And the light pierces straight upwards.
Oh, the tiny little snow globe was the disc. But it wasn't a disc, it was a snow globe city. Bruh.
Please. You may enter of your own free will. Kind of motions for you to touch the disc, the globe.
Touch the
Oh,
butt.
it's like a mind city. I guess Barnes looks meaningfully between the gang. Do we all look to be intending to touch the little dingle?
Rasha begins to walk forward.
I mean, Zug probably follows as soon as Rasha starts moving. Oh no, you're not doing that
I
alone,
can
buddy.
see this is a holy place of Geb. Points at the pillars. I can feel him close.
Not gonna lie, doesn't look much like a golden city, which is what I'd kind of expect from Geb. Are you sure about that, buddy?
What do you mean? These pillars are beautiful.
This does look like the one on Roll20, right?
So the thing on Roll20 is the thing in the ground that's tiny. The massive stone pillars with gold intricate carvings all over them that kind of are around this chamber.
Hmm.
Those are there. That's what he's referring to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I think I meant the other one. Oh, yeah. No, you're right. Sorry. I take back what I said about it not looking
Yep.
beautiful because I'm mixed up. Very nice. Beautiful city.
How about we do it all together so nobody's left behind or split off? Could all
Sounds like a plan to me.
hold hands and sort of put it in together.
So kind of laughs to himself. Can't be worse than the windy place.
Well, the sooner we go, the sooner this is all over with, right?
Agreed. Sooner we get back to Rosanna.
Go then.
What if we have to fight for our lives?
What's new then, Askel? What's new?
Or what's not
We
new
will
is
face everything together, as we have done in the past.
he says that.
We will win no matter what happens. Rasha.
Yeah, I like that. We will. We will win, no matter what happens.
Sure, I just, not at my fullest right now, and well, it's we don't know what's in there, really.
Oh, let's find out together.
Okay. You will reach out and touch the orb together.
Touch the button.
Mhm.
Yep. Touch the
Cool.
button.
That's why we'll take a quick 10-minute break until 9
Yeah,
o'clock.
I just realized we didn't ask the advocate about the plague at all.
Ah.
I was thinking
We
we'd
did
like
not ask the questions I expected.
Yeah.
We didn't ask him shit.
We asked him if he would eat us, and I think that was a very
That's a
relevant
valid
question.
question.
Okay,
Yeah.
valid
cool. I'm
question.
gonna run, but I will be back in 10 minutes.
All
Thanks
right.
everybody.
See you guys in 10 minutes.
9 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Meetings.
After meeting the slightly spooky advocate, going deep beneath the waters, horrors of the deeps, so managing to avoid the cold, seeing the visions, not impaling themselves on any spikes. You've descended deep into the center of the chamber containing some of the pillars of the earth, had an orb presented to you that seems to be where the advocate is claiming that Viscathus and Geb's prison is, and you have all reached forward and touched it and felt through that touch your body's you feel your spirit tugged, your body tugged and like twisted, and you feel as membrane in the city almost seems to expand around you, and there's a whooshing sound. You're not sure if you've shrunk or it's got bigger, as suddenly you are yanked through the membrane and you kind of breathe air for the first time in probably an hour rather than water, as you are all kind of, you land face down on marble feeling but not looking stone, and you kind of look up at this city that you only saw an orb form with kind of the weird black, not quite tentacles, but twisted spires reaching upwards, the like green bioluminescent light, the kind of weird angles, the streets paved from side to side. It looks though, looking at it, those of you would reason that this is not so much a city as a place where something would swim around and hide and be in like corners and crevices. Look, as you can see on Roll20, it's not necessarily filled with buildings. There are simply things wrap around or use as cover or simply sleep in or on. And looking up at this, it's a city is too generous, but a hive feels not solid enough. Yes.
Any sign of restaurants, Dan?
No sign of restaurants.
Damn
The
it.
whole, given where you are, the whole
Yeah.
thing is surprisingly clean. And there's no dust anywhere. The whole area feels still. And then you guys turn around and you look out at the side the membrane where you've once come from, the chamber you once came from. You see the pillars off in the distance, roughly at the same kind of height or distance that you saw when you were there. So you presume that you've shrunk into this wall. However, at the top of the chamber, a tunnel you swam down, you see something dart and pull itself to the wall. You see many tentacles fan out, and then eyes grin across, and then another one, until the whole top of the ceiling is a writhing mass of tentacles and red eyes staring down into the orb at you,
Ugh.
watching.
Wait, into the orb.
Bro.
No, they haven't come into the orb. They're in the chamber above you, looking down, observing you in this orb, and kind of cracking a thing, landing next to you, kind of hands clapped. They're now walking. Very unexpectedly, though, the advocate stands again, looking up and says, "I hope that wasn't too discomforting for some of you."
Are we like really small, or are we hearing our minds?
Realities can be confusing.
Yeah,
Often disappointing.
that's deep, man. You're quite right.
So on roll 20, are we like in one of these little paths or something in here,
Yes.
and then like all the eyes we're seeing are like up here?
Yes,
Okay.
outside the membrane.
Thanks, I hate it. Okay. Great. So where's Gab? Where are they?
Yeah, where's Gab?
All in due time. Please walk.
So
with
this
me.
is more like a waiting room then.
Not a waiting room. A waiting walk. And motions for you to follow.
Can we get a vibe check off of Rasha? Like, how is he kind of like
Hmm.
handling all
He's
of this?
incredibly excited.
Yeah, go for it. So,
I rolled a 10.
okay. You don't need a vibe check because Rasha strides forward, grabs the advocate's like thing, and says, "We have played enough of your games. We are close. I can feel him. We go now."
Get him, boy.
The
Rasha.
advocate kind of, and as
Oh, he's not grown up.
as Rasha like takes like puts down the advocate or goes to, the advocate just kind of hovers slightly in the air where Rasha picked him up. Bows and motions for you to follow into the center of, like, downwards into the center of the city, or kind of in between the structures where you go, and Rasha just takes off in that direction.
Right. I'm following after Rasha as quickly as I can.
Boy.
As you walk past Hayden, the advocate reaches out and touches your hand.
Can I do a dex check to not get touched by this guy?
Go for it.
'Cause I'm just like, like, don't fucking
Yes.
touch
Yeah.
me, child.
Yeah, go for
He's
it.
slimy.
Yes,
Is
he's
this a
dripping.
dex saving throw?
He's dripping.
Yeah, dex saving throw, yeah.
Am I still near Aku? Because that gives me a +4, right?
Yes.
Cool. I rolled a 29. Don't touch me.
29.
Phew. You dodged
You,
that.
as you
Excellent.
walk past him, he kind of moves out quite quickly, but you're like, fuck off. like, before he moves, you leap away slightly, and therefore, even this, as you feel, he holds out his hand to touch yours, and your hand, you've jumped far enough away so it doesn't. Your hand, the one with the Geb tattoo, involuntary snaps towards him.
Oh no. Oh, I hate that.
Oh no.
But you're out of range. You've jumped so far, you don't touch hands.
Okay.
He was trying to molest Hayden's
I
Geb
was
hand.
merely curious of your mark.
Curious is one thing, but don't fucking touch me.
Strange customs.
Yeah, you could say that again. What do you want?
I wish to examine it.
Aiden pulls off his glove and then kind of shows it like this. Examine it from here.
Thank you.
Does the kid just kind of like stare?
Yeah, just thank you and stares.
And he kind of like standing there, like flipping him off, and then like slowly lowers it. Okay.
Sorry, 2 seconds.
Oh
Y'all, the vibes aren't good.
no, vibes are not good.
Vibes aren't good.
The vibes are poor.
I kind of feel like we maybe should have short rested at some point, but that's okay.
Sorry, Jess just walking past in a towel.
So
Casual.
we've got a juicy long rest, you know?
So no, you didn't get a long rest in that time. What do you mean?
We didn't even get a short rest because we
Yeah,
Short
decided
rest.
to press on.
The child is just staring at you, Hayden. Now.
A child. A child.
Okay, so Hayden like kind of like lowers his finger and kind of shoves his glove back on, and he's like, "So what? What is it?"
A symbol of a deal made.
Yeah, what of it?
I was merely curious as to its potency.
Well, what do you think then?
Great many things.
Whatever. And Hayden kind of stalks off and ignores the child.
Here to share with the class? Advocate or...
Yeah, you ignore the child.
Child. There are many things we do not share, even with those we love. Especially those who do not trust us.
I'm so confused.
Our willingness to kill our friends, first and foremost.
Huh. Killing friends? Who's killing our friends? Or are you killing your friends?
I don't think I have what you would call friends.
No.
Yes.
Zach just chuckles a tiny bit. You shouldn't tell people that. It makes you look very uncool.
I am always cold.
Oh, yeah, I figured.
So, how long's the walk then?
As long as I will it.
That's
Oh.
quite an awkwardly long amount of time, isn't it? Like, I feel like you could be more forthcoming with your information.
Are we talking like human lifespan length of time, or are we just going to wander around the snow globe forever?
And he puts his hand up, and like as his hand moves, one of the pillars literally like shifts. The whole thing.
Oh, sick. Damn.
Whoa. What?
Oh, what
Reality
in the...
is
What is
often
even
complicated.
that? What is even that?
Hayden regrets flipping off the small child now.
Do you really know?
He doesn't understand that gesture. It's fine.
Oh, hey, since we're having a walk and talk, like, the plague, did you guys do that?
Yes.
Cool, why?
Just straight up admitted it?
Do you want to, like,
hold on a
not?
second. Wait, what
Do you want to, like...
The natural result of the stagnation of life is the unnatural continuation of death. It is rot without purpose. My liege's imprisonment is the stagnation of life.
I'm very confused. What does he mean?
So are you saying that we release Piscatees and Gab and that fixes the plague?
No, it's too late. You'll need to solve that on your own.
Oh, really? But you're like you're a giga brain. You have so much brain.
Also,
Surely
didn't
you can
you
help us figure it out.
start this problem? Like, surely you should, help
Oh,
fix it. A
You
little
know,
bit.
that wasn't very
There are
smart
many
to say, because if
problems.
it's for us to solve anyway, then we've got no reason to help you out now.
True.
Mm-hmm. Boys,
True.
let's get out of here.
I get the feeling you just want to leave, Hayden. Which I don't blame
Yeah,
you,
I
to
do
be
just
honest.
want to leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll win, don't worry. It's all
You
good.
You simply wish it to not get worse.
Okay, he's got us there.
Mm. So, right, we free these and then it like stops getting worse. Because death is not stagnant. Life isn't stagnant? And then death is cool and then is
Something's
that
not stagnant.
Sorry, my brain is quite small. I'm not the smart one in my own personal life, so
The energies that now lay dormant will again revitalize and challenge, and the unintended consequences of my liege's imprisonment will not get worse.
of which the plague is one. Right.
And the death of many realities beyond this one, the plague is just the first to affect your little lives.
Yeah, I don't really care about the other realities. It's sort of not our problem.
With
Surely-
Lance on that one.
You can understand, right? Not my reality, not my problem.
Hashtag
much-
not my reality.
It's just not my reality, straight up.
I very much do not.
Oh, because you're like a multi-reality being, is that? That's...
I am nothing of the sort.
Oh.
A pale shadow on the wall.
Oh, but she is.
Yes.
Damn. So are there like alternate dimensions where like there's like a cool Barnes or like a shorter Barnes or one that didn't drop out of school to do music or
I ponder the insignificance of the question.
I just want to know, man.
I don't know.
Oh, shit. So we're just happily wandering through Scary City.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you,
we're just taking a stroll.
you notice that Rasha has walked many feet ahead of you and actually turns a corner. And you turn around and he's gone. And then there's
Right.
a slight weirdness as he seems to walk into the back of it. He seems to walk into whoever's at the back of the group.
We kind of like does the Spider-Man meme. Like it's like just
Oh, you were behind me.
what happened?
I was walking the way I was supposed to.
The way isn't real.
Hold on a second. If we look at our surroundings, is this like an optical illusion maze where like all of the staircases kind of actually lead into each other and there is actually no exit? It's
Yes.
just infinite.
Realizing that, looking down, could you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Oh my god. Am I still next to Aku?
Yes,
Cool. 28.
passed. You managed to rip yourself away from the paradox.
Guys, so don't know if you guys have noticed, but this staircase is infinite. So I don't really know where we're going. But have you considered that maybe
Wait, are we dead? This is heaven. This is hell.
Come to the club.
no, but and he like glances at the little kid and then he's like looks at Aku and he's like, Aku, can you like dial me in, please? Basically asking him to start like a telepathic link with everybody.
Yep, he does.
Cool. So then Hayden says to the group, including Rasha, if he's dialed in, have you considered that, okay, maybe it wasn't a trap as in we're gonna get eaten, but maybe this is the jail that Piscathesis is in because this is like an endless loop and we're never gonna get out of here.
Why trap us in it?
Because we were gonna foil its plans or something, I don't know.
No, I think they want us to enact their plans. I think we're pawns in a greater game and we're marching towards the extinction of all life as we know it.
Okay, but why put us on like an endless path? Like, where are we going? And
Well,
like Rasha's just
that
like
is
looped around to
true.
the back.
Well, Kittywink said that it takes as long as he wants it to get where we're going, so I imagine he's just sort of chilling until he decides
Okay,
that he
well,
wants us to be at
let's
the
put
end.
the pressure on. Aku, strangle him or something.
I'm waiting until you decide if you're going to kill your friend if needed or not.
Wait, no, he's not in this conversation.
Doesn't matter. He's probably just
He's a
coming
son
anyway.
of a mud,
just
guys. He's a mud.
You can see all the conversations.
He says that.
In the link?
No, just out loud.
What the fuck is wrong with this kid? Wait, which friend does he want us to
Why
kill?
would he say that? Why
Why-
would you say that? That's such an odd thing to say.
Is it me? I always knew you maybe wanted to. Go for it, guys. I'll just get back up again. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you've got a good point. Like, anyone we kill, we can just get back up again, right?
Yeah, it's fine. Just kill him. Snap at her. Yeah, it's fine.
Wait, can we do that? Do we actually have the materials to do that? I don't-
Rasha says, I do.
Okay, so who does he want us to kill? And please don't be me, because I've kind of had enough of that this lifetime. So,
I don't want you to kill anybody. It's about what you are capable of. Asqua.
wait, how is he listening to this conversation? I thought this was a private conversation.
Clearly, they are quite good at reading minds. Like, I feel like we're in the realm of.
I mean, he gave
You
us
know,
all the powers and the brain shit.
yeah. I
He's
guess got a
he's literally a
pure-
mud in the summer. Like,
Ask, are you leaking our strats?
oh my god.
My God,
It was
he's
me
leaking.
all along.
You were the true big bad. Ghost was just a peon in your masterful plans.
Would not be surprised.
It's too easy.
Just as
All right.
to Keikaku.
Ask her, who are you conspiring against now?
What? It just says it wants you to kill me.
That's totally not what it said. It's
That-
asking what we're capable of. You, specifically. Why?
What? It knows what I'm capable of. It knows where I'm from.
Could you do it again?
What are you talking about? Enough riddles. Be direct.
Turns to Aku. Turns back to Hayden. Turns to Ascor. Turns to Zug. Finally looks at Rasha. They would kill you.
What? I would not kill
You
Rasha.
know it deep down.
I would not kill Rasha. Hayden would not kill Rasha. I'm putting that in writing right now, out of character as well.
And then it says, in Aku's voice, for the greater good. I'd do it again. There's a long pause in silence. And despite how still it is, and despite how quiet, suddenly dropped a few degrees of temperature.
Insight check on Rashaval, please.
Yep.
$15.
There's a single tear running down Rasha's face.
Oh no!
As he quickly turns away.
Turns away and walks away, or just
No,
turns
no,
away?
turns away. They are here to help me. Like I helped them.
So this is your game, huh? You're gonna try and tear us all apart. You don't need to
I
devour
plan
us,
to do
we
nothing.
devour each other.
I merely do not wish to introduce my liege to those whose intentions are unclear and undecided.
Said it yourself earlier, lack of perspective is still a perspective, so.
And I am here to help you gain one.
How exactly you intend on doing that?
Bringing it to bear. Asgore said he would. What about the rest of you? And do
I
any
mean,
of you truly...
Asgore does say a lot of shit.
Do any of you truly
No
doubt
offense, my friend.
Asgore's intention?
I sometimes doubt a lot of what Asgore says. No offense again.
Askel's going to turn around and with a smile on his face, look to all of you and goes, "Look, if we were trapped in a cave and we're going to die, I would eat any one of you. But that's not news to any of you."
Oh, that's fair enough.
He kind of looks at it, I guess. Yeah, that kind of that does check actually.
That
Yeah,
check, yeah, that
that
adds
does make
up.
sense. Yeah,
Pretty
he's got a
comfortable
point.
with that
He's got a
knowledge.
Yeah, he's pretty ruthless.
At least
But
because
he
you
does-
poison
he
yourself
does-
in the attempt.
He does consistently pay though. I've had worse.
Gold. Is it a gold a day or is it a silver a day? I can't remember.
it's like 1 copper or something. That's like really stupid.
No, I think
The,
that's a
the
reduction. It was
level
2
15
gold.
fighter only
Hey.
worth a few copper.
It's not about the quantity, it's about the consistency of payment.
It's the consistency. Look, if I needed to
About
renegotiate
deposit,
the contract,
more
I
about-
could, you know. But like,
It's why you want to be a salaried worker rather than a freelancer, guys. Stability and consistency of pay.
Zuck needs a
Healthcare.
union.
he needs to unionize a union of 1.
Freelance mercenaries are us.
Look, my answer to this is easy, because Rashavel, I don't consider us friends. I barely know you. And I think I made it pretty clear walking into this that I am here to help you understand what is actually going on and see that you make the correct decision that is sensible for yourself and the world and your friends at the end of it. And to be frank, if you make the wrong one, I really would have very few problems stabbing you for it. I'm going to be honest there. But I don't want to, because clearly you mean a lot to these people. And they mean a lot to me, so...
I have come down here to rescue someone dear to me.
That's how you feel about it, but ultimately decisions have consequences. And if the consequences of that decision
When
fucks
have we
the
ever
rest of
cared
us
about
over-
consequences before? You may be new, and I don't know what you've done, but have you ever taken
No.
a decision and not worry about consequences and do it for who you love?
Sure, but these are pretty big ones. And if your decision is consequences be damned, I respect that. That's fine. Just I'm going to stab you for it if it's going to kill a lot of people. Jones kind of
Yeah.
shrugs, folds his arms.
Said we'd fight
Why?
this together.
Why are you being so selfish, Rasha?
Because I've never been selfish. This is the one thing I want. One thing I've always wanted to help. First friend.
You wouldn't help all of us?
I've helped all of you. I've trusted all of you. I've trusted all of you when you've told me not to trust somebody who later betrayed me and took my finger. I followed all of you when all you did was make fun of me. I healed you. I saved you. I pursued you wherever you went. And then you chose to let me die. And you said you'd do it again. And here, at the end of my journey, you ask me to give it up. Because I'm being selfish.
Would I remember exactly what Rasha's referring to when he said we'd let him die?
Yeah, Ghost took him captive, and he said that he'd release Rasha in exchange for Aku giving him what he wanted. And Rasha doesn't know this, but Lanara took over Aku and stopped Aku taking that deal. And condemned Rasha. Back at the
think
tree.
you're missing.
Back at the tree.
Yeah. I think you're missing some details there. Like, really.
Which details? Part where I
Askel
saved all of your lives multiple times.
Askel just turns to Aku and looks at Aku.
You know that. I mean, this is to Rasha, right? Like, you know that I've tried to explain this before. I came to save your life. There was nothing within my choice that meant I would ever have exchanged your life.
Why did you tell me you'd do it again?
I did. He poses that as a genuine question.
Oh.
You did. Here we
Aku
are.
is like struggling to find the right words. Like he's
Here we are.
looks like he wants to say something, but like he's also looking kind of a bit lost, like to everyone around in the group.
So here we are.
Hayden
At the end of this, take your shot if it's what you're going to do.
steps past Aku and goes to stand next to Rasha, and he says, "Guys, this is ridiculous. No one is gonna kill Rasha. We're not killing. Why are we even discussing this? This stupid kid is just trying to mess with our heads. I know as well as the rest of you, I would rather die than turn my blade to Rasha. He's our friend, and he's exactly right. What he said. He has sacrificed himself for us so many times, and we just promised him we were gonna help him see this through. If it turns out that, you know, freeing Geb also frees the Aboleth Queen, then we'll deal with that. Why are we discussing this?"
Persuasion check, Hayden.
4.
Okay.
Aku,
That,
it was
sorry,
true.
sorry, to clarify, that should only affect Rasha. The rest of you
Hmm.
react to Hayden's role players. You see that?
Hayden, I said what I said, but Aku, that wasn't you. That was a side of you, true, that we haven't quite figured out, but it's not necessarily the sum total of your true feelings on the matter. Maybe part of them, but...
I mean, I would argue that that part of myself that I have no control over is nothing to do with my own thoughts and feelings. And it hasn't been since before Rasha knew me. I mean, I've tried to explain. So they had a conversation at the pub where Aku was definitely trying to convince Rasha that he hadn't said what he'd said. And Rasha walked away kind of not really believing him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else I can say. I told you that I wouldn't have said that, and that wasn't my feelings on that matter, and I don't know what else I can say to convince you, Rasha.
It used to matter to me a lot.
I mean, it still
hurt.
matters to me. It still matters to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here with us. You wouldn't have asked us to come down here.
It hurt me like few other things did, especially following Ghost and Anya. But Dan and I talked. I realized that it wasn't just that it was you that made it worse. It was that I allowed myself my decisions once again to be somebody else's. Somebody else to have control. So if I'm to fight you for what I want, then let us get it over with. Otherwise, I will continue on this path. Exactly whether I know who it was. The fact that someone could or did. That's what hurt. I'm sure somebody as independent as you and as selfish as Ascor can appreciate that.
Lanarath had shed my body since long before I could remember anything. And yet you say I allowed him to act the way that I did. You make no sense. You know my situation with Lanarath, Rasha.
It must be nice to know when you're not in control, compared to never knowing what it's like to be in control.
But you are in control in many senses. You made many decisions in the time
What
that we spent
decision
together.
did I make that mattered? All my time with you, all of you. None of you listened. You laughed.
I mean, to be fair, what decision did any of us make that mattered?
You all made
Kid.
lots of decisions.
Kid, listen, you're about to make a big fucking decision. When you see the prison that Geb is in, and the situation as to whether or not Geb is friend or foe of the world, you will have the decision whether or not you free it or you don't. That control is in your hands, probably, and yours alone. Unless, of course, we all decide to kill you, but let's assume that we don't.
We're not killing Rasha.
All right, we're not killing
Yes,
Rashaval.
Aiden.
We're not killing
Rasha
Rashaval.
is not on the table at all.
All right,
It's not
you're
even
in a
close to the table. It's
right.
it's just not here.
The point is, if it's agency you want, you have it in spades. If it's the ability to lord over your own future and take control of it and finally have a say in what path it is you walk down, then it's about to be in front of you. I just want to make sure you're going to make the choice that won't hurt these people. That is what I am interested in. And if you can promise me, Rashavel, that you are going to prioritize them over something that may or may not hurt them, then that's where we end up. I just care about seeing these people through to the end of it. But ultimately, the choice is yours. I just want to know that you're even considering them. Or is it really only Geb? Because if it's only Geb, then, guys, we're walking into a 50-50.
You've asked me many times if piecing Gab releases this other thing, or how can I know? I know. I've known since I was a child. I know that he's my friend, that he's good, that he produces wonders, and he's shown them to me, and that he needs me now. And that whatever comes after that, my friend reached out for help, my truest friend, and I'm here to rescue them.
So your faith in Gab supersedes your love for these people. Fine. That's pretty clear.
Guys,
If there's
If you
one
want.
thing you've just told us all about friends and friendship, is that part of friends, people, is failure. Failing one another. It happens. Maybe we act selfishly, maybe thoughtlessly, or we make mistakes, or maybe we even tried. But you accept, surely. You must, of course, that even your first friend could betray you or could fail you. That's what friends are. You're blind to each other, but you're also truest to each other. And they're the people to which you owe the truth about themselves. Whether I'm an asshole or Aku is self-sure.
You read this in a book, didn't you? You're quoting a book right now.
Now hold on a minute.
I think I might have written it.
If there's anything any of us here, including you, Rasha, because you just told me, friends can let you down. And if you're your greatest friend, your first friend, lets you down, and I know that's gotta be hard to imagine. Surely, because you accept what friendship is, you know that Geb could fail you. You know that. I'm telling you what you know.
So I will have persuasion checks from Barnes, Ascor, and Aku. Oh no.
For
22.
fuck's sake! I had advantage! And I rolled a 3 as my highest roll. Fuck's sake.
I've got 22, guys. What do you reckon? Do I risk it all for to roll another d20? I rolled a 10 there.
What was your number, Barnes?
28. I can drop a d6 on it.
I mean, if Barnes is throwing down a decent, yeah, fuck it. Go on. I'm going higher. I'm gonna try it.
Right, we're both high roll. I roll a 1 on my DC. 29.
I got what did I get? I got the same result. Okay, great. 22.
Rasha looks between one of you and sighs. Friends can fail you. Trust can be betrayed. But call it faith, call it love, call it trust. It's something that has always been there. Something that has caused me a great deal of comfort. And I'm simply here to pay that back in the only way I've ever been asked. It wouldn't be me failing Geb. Sorry, it wouldn't be Geb failing me. It would be me failing Geb. If I were not to do this one thing I've been asked.
Fine.
But I'm glad you're all here. I want to face this together. That's all I ever wanted.
Well, we are here. In all our plurality. But my question, the real, the ore inside the slag, as it were. To speak in your terms, is to ask, after you fulfill the pinnacle of your friendship, the peak of it, you have to accept that. He looks around to each of us. Friends can fail one another. And Geb might fail you after. That's all I'm saying is not whether you should or you shouldn't. You've told us you will. You've told us you will. But simply, all I seek to know is, why would you not treat that friendship like you're treating ours? If Geb is to fail you in the way that you feel we failed you, then what?
I owe him a debt. It's not about him betraying me afterwards. It's about what he's done to earn my trust now and my gratitude.
Is it a friend or their deity? They're its slave. I would know. It's not friendship. It's a bond, a debt, a contract. It's all the same.
Debts shouldn't be shunned. Debts are true in life, whether it's gold or whether it's a debt of life. We pay them. We incur them. And we are paid them. It's not inherently wrong. The only consideration I feel our friend Rasha has here is, once the debt is paid, does he feel he's capable of maintaining that friendship as we all see it? Not as Barnes you've described it. That's what you'll have to ask yourself, Rasha. Will that friendship with you and Geb be, after you repay him, will it be a transaction? Will you be beholden to him? Or will, like anybody who loves somebody as a friend, in the spirit of love, open themselves to hurt, disappointment, all the emotions that come with love? Geb can let you down. You just have to decide what you'll do, if he did, or if he does. Beyond that,
But he hasn't.
he can't let you down, friend, until, well, you free him. He can't do anything until you free him.
He can. He has helped us and me numerous
Look.
times.
What has and hasn't happened to this point is almost sort of moot. You want agency, you want to make a decision, it's yours to make it. I want to make sure that you're confident in yourself, you're empowering yourself to make that decision. Not Geb. For you, you're making it because you want to, because you think it's the right thing to do, that it fulfills what you have in your mind as the best version of yourself, Rashaval. Control of what is happening around you and the agency to make your own decisions. Make it, and own it, and live it. We've said what we've said. Will you be able to view Geb as somebody who can let you down when all is said and done and change how you act as off the back of it? Maybe. Just remember you're your own person, that's all you want in this.
Exactly. Exactly.
Rasha nods. I'm still choosing to find him.
Right, do it. Just whatever happens afterwards. That's when the real choice is made. It's not now, it's then.
After.
And when you make that choice, all of this, I want that in your mind.
Very well. At that point, the advocate smiles off to the side as you've been kind of walking and talking.
Before we go any further, how things go with that girl?
Is it Bertha? Bertha?
Berga. It was
Berga.
Berga was my girlfriend.
That's it,
Fine,
Beth.
actually.
Insight check.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Hans is a nosy bastard, so 14.
Got an 18 here.
There's a story to be told. You get the sense it didn't go super fine.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah? You gonna see her again?
Not with the quality of those axes hanging on her shelf.
Wait,
Hey, no, perfect.
hold on. Did you just say she wasn't good enough for you? Whoever she is.
Not at smithing, no. Or at least not at taking criticism.
Oh. Oh. Just shakes his head and laughs. Well, if you need marital counselling, that is one of the services I can offer, so, you know.
What is marital?
When you marry someone, spend the rest of your life with them in a cornucopia of love and bliss. Except it isn't, because you probably hate each other within 3 years.
Like a... I'm kidding. I didn't say that. As you move up, you almost walk into a wall. As you look up at the somehow what you presume to be the center of this globe that you've managed to get to, and there's a single central one of these spires just making its way up, and it kind of touches the very top of the dome. And there's kind of a large carved opening that seems to go inside and then meander downwards. The advocate smiles. Well, now that that's been resolved, I suppose it's time we all said hello properly. And the spell, whatever was possessing this, drops, and there's just a small, kind of pathetic looking, sad, crumpled corpse of a child laying on the floor next to this door.
Oh no, the child actually died this time.
I think that child is probably dead, Zog.
I feel like that
I
child's
mean,
been
he is
dead
now.
for a
Look at
long
him.
time.
He's clearly dead. But he was okay for a bit, and then he died again.
Before, like, it all kicks off, right? Bonds is probably going to drop back to maybe, like, Aku, Hayden, like, some of the OG gang, if they're maybe looking a little stressed after that Rasha conversation, and just say, the need to control their own fate. That was the greatest failing of my people, the Archmages. That's the same hubris that destroyed the world, and I see it in that boy. Be careful, guys.
We're gonna help him through this. Whatever we have to do.
Yeah. I'm not sure I want to see another Vespin Chloris.
Not gonna happen.
And kind of falls quiet.
Well, and he's gonna turn and look at Rasha. Are you ready?
Oh, I don't think I'll ever be. But I will be strong. It dawns on all of you, probably. Russia's like 18?
Funny.
20. Not the youngest in the group, maybe. Maybe the youngest in the group? Yeah.
Definitely is.
Baby.
He's baby.
As you see the often large and imposing figure of Rasha, who looks a tiny bit small, maybe, walk, hunched shoulders, beginning to go down the spiral staircase.
Adrian will follow behind him quite quickly.
That's
Okay.
what lets at least 2 people go first before he follows.
Okay. As you make your way down, it seems to go on for a long time. 10 minutes. Your balance is difficult. You can't see the bottom. 20 minutes. There's a small inkling of light far below you. Golden light. And you just get closer and closer. And as your spiral, the staircase breaks into 2. And then both kind of come up to a chamber that somehow you've gone down, reversed round, and now it's ushering you back up. Depth, how long you've been walking, everything doesn't seem quite right. And you realize you can't really make out your surroundings other than what's directly in front and around from you. And as you gaze up into this chamber above, you can see the ceiling. You can see golden light splitting from somewhere, and the air is thick, with what maybe you know kind of power rumming through this place.
Golden light.
Rasha's stopped at the base of the stairs.
DM, just to recap, when with the Mask of Gableth, which I'm still attuned to it, when I first used it on a long rest, I the first creature I chose in which to draw information about and naturally succeed on a history check, what aboleths.
Yep.
Which is, I think, let me see what that says. It was the mask. The Mask of the Aboleth. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh shite, oh shite. Yeah, I learned this, I do that. Yeah. At the end of every long rest, you may pick a creature type or 2 types of humanoids, such as humans and high elves. An infinite wealth of knowledge about the creature type floods into you, and you automatically succeed any intelligence checks used to recall information about their physiology, abilities, or behavior.
Yep.
What do I know about, like, aboleths?
So, you know that aboleths are ancient, powerful creatures from the outer realms, subterranean in nature. So the problem is I'm about to read you a biology textbook of aboleths. Is there information that you didn't want? Is there information of like their history that you wanted instead?
I can take some of that. I'll take more of the physiology abilities, please.
Yeah.
Behavior.
So, you know, fish like amphibious of immense size, 20 feet, incredible psionic powers, quite weak physically. You know that they control the area around their lair, often being able to see through the water, manipulate, and ensnare, charm creatures nearby. You know that, like up close and personal, they have fangs, but it's not their preferred method. They often find a home, spend years cultivating the area to make it safe, slowly possessing humans or things that come near enough, or leading humans there till they have developed as an essential like hunting ground and lair where food essentially just walks to them. In terms of like direct spell casting, they don't really cast spells. It's more psionic abilities. The thing that you remember is that every aboleth, they don't just have their own memories, they have genetic memories. So our aboleth remembers everything that happened to its parents and its parents back to the dawn of time. So each aboleth represents thousands, if not millions of years of collective memories. That is not only maddening, it is also a cause of great like psionic power. And you know that that psionic power is often manifested as the ability to control and beguile rather than directly assault. But that doesn't mean they can't.
Yes. Okay. A wealth of knowledge. All right, cool. What's their fighting style?
They are incredibly intelligent hunters. If they engage something that is stronger than them, they will engage in hit and run tactics, or attempt to avoid the fight, or deal with it psionically from afar. If you choose to engage it in the water, it will attempt to use its kind of viscous fluid it produces to slow you down, keep you at a distance. These things aren't, if engaged in an even fight, aren't close combat fighters.
Sick, bruv.
Okay.
Aaron?
Well,
I just got an amazing idea. I don't know if it's
Okay.
gonna work though. What if we use the amulet of the plains to teleport the aboleths to like, I don't know, the fire plane, and they just like burn up in all the lava, and then they're not our problem anymore. Job's done.
Desiccate them.
Yeah. Just cook up some fish. Have a little stir fry. Easy.
Hey.
So, Rasha stands there and says, "Are we ready?"
Aiden kind of puts his hand on Rasha's shoulder, which, considering how tall Rasha is and how Hayden is the shortest member of the group, means that he's actually kind of like reaching his arm up like this to pat him on the shoulder. But he pats him on the shoulder nonetheless. And he says, "We've got you."
I think.
Ascor goes, hold on a second. He reaches, he's rummaging. And he's rummaging. Out comes like just a fucking boot from one of the dudes he made undress back there when he was like trying to hoard all that stuff. Just like, what? Oh, that's horrible. Anyway, carries rummaging a bit more. And just pulls out a comb. Just 1 second. Combing his hair. Going for that smarmy comb over that he normally has. Takes a bit of mucus from his face. He just secretes it like that. Combs it over. It's shiny. It's in place. And pockets it once more and goes, "Well, I'm ready. I think we're ready, Rasha."
Barnes will kind of, this will be flavor, but we're going to use the inspiring leader feat. Give you guys some temporary HP. But he'll kind of pause and say, "I've elected to go forward together. We stand by it, and we deal with the consequences. We can, and we will. We're powerful. I don't have faith in anyone but myself and the people standing here with me. And I wish the same self-assurance to you all. To you, Rashaval, especially."
Wait a second, are we gonna go fight something?
If we don't, I will be so happy and surprised.
But like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't know. I could do with at least a short bit of a breath. I used a lot of energy on the
Look, this is not
taking
the
out
time
those.
to go to the bathroom.
No, I don't mean that. I mean is that I just used a lot of energy, and we haven't had a chance to, do
I
anything.
think what Doug's trying to say is, as a religious man, we would like time to pray.
I mean, time to sit down is fine. It's also the same. Just time to prepare.
Look,
He's about to meet his maker. Come on.
as much
Give
as
us some
you may
time.
feel a little tired,
Yeah.
I would suggest that looking around, not entirely sure what is up or down, standing beneath the portal thromming with energy.
It's not really possible.
You may consider
Weird.
this isn't the best time.
Oh man, I was certain it would be.
20 temp HP to you all as inspiring feelings from a man who just for a brief moment looks like a guy who could lead armies. He just has that vibe. And you kind of get the whole General Castello thing. Just for a wee second.
Barnes is right. Zug, Rasha's waited long enough. We don't have time for prayers. Let's just go.
Time for prayers. This is a man of God. You can't tell him that.
Yeah, he's a man of Geb, and he's about to go meet Geb.
Look, you should
Why
be
is he gonna
excited.
pray to
You are
Geb
meeting
when he's on
Geb
the other
too.
side of the door?
What's the
He's
worst that can
about
happen?
to meet his maker. This is a big deal.
What's the worst that can happen? Let's go.
Like,
You
Zug,
hear psychic, you hear just like, hey, I tried.
Gotta hear back. Oh, we're gonna die.
Okay. As you walk up, impossibly given the space you've all been, it opens up onto a wide, large chamber, which you can all go to roll 24.
ooh,
Why is it a battle
exciting.
map, G?
Yeah,
It might be
right.
fun.
It might be fine.
Oh no! What the DM's trying to say is
What
just a
the
puzzle.
fuck?
Guys. It's just gonna be
Who's
a
that
puzzle.
sexy guy?
Who's
Who's
the
the sexy
map?
guy on the
Let's get
map?
So
Geb is
you guys are coming
sexy.
up the sides. You can see there is like an altar behind you. There's torches seemingly possibly lit. The golden light is coming from the cage in the center, which is very well drawn, as you can all tell.
That's a cage.
Yes,
Yeah.
surrounded by a swirl of
Okay.
water, runes on the center. This entire room is humming with power. Each of those runes kind of gradually flashes. You can see kind of the area around this is like lowered platforms lowering down to an intricately carved half sun, half flower, you're not sure, that comes out to the central platform. There are large golden chains linking the four corners of this water pit straight to the center. Upon the dais is the central rune dais. There is hovering in the air the golden form of a figure, long hair streaming back, face slightly too dazzling to look at, muscled, attractive.
Sexy.
He answered all of our
Uh,
questions.
Yo, hold up. Geb is actually a cutie.
And beneath his feet, he is hovering in midair because there isn't anything beneath the prison. The prison just goes down into the darkness, into the cage. And you see the cage bars kind of go down following the pit. So around the cage, there are the runes and the dais. Actually, in the pit, there's no ground. It just kind of falls away into nothingness.
Quick question. Just because I've played Cult of the Lamb and you mentioned 4 chains, is it important where on the map these chains are for us to know about by any chance?
Yeah, if you look, they are drawn.
I cannot see no drawn chains.
I do not see
Not
chains.
see
Did I do them in the GM
I do not
overlay?
see the
I
chains.
did. I
Yeah.
am dumb.
I do not see
I am
shins.
dumb.
I
Oh.
am dumb. They are in the wrong layer.
Oh, a little
on
guy's
your-
up
Hold
here,
on, you
though.
accidentally revealed.
Ah!
It didn't exist. It's fine. It's fine.
There's
It's fine.
a little
There
guy.
are no aboliths here. Ignore me. Fuck.
That's not.
Why would
I
there
didn't
be
see
an
anything.
aboleth here, Jamie?
Yeah,
I
it'd be
don't
nothing.
know why there'd be an
Oh
aboleth
man, that was
here.
a really weird bug.
Yeah.
So
Strange bug. They happen. Strange bugs.
is the figure like alert?
No.
Does it kind of give Solar vibes? Because
Yeah, it's like an angel, just with no
Okay.
wings
How does
and a golden skin.
how does Rasha react? Does Rasha immediately recognize this as being Geb, or does he look in a bit
Yeah.
confused?
Rasha gasps and kind of just looks to be staring, and I would say is momentarily starstruck's the wrong word, bowled over, completely like stunned. Doesn't mean you auto crit him.
Flabbergasted.
Lava gives. We take psychic damage.
Ah.
So,
This is it.
what
This is
now?
his prison. Don't you see? This is him.
That is.
This is
definitely
it.
him. That does look like
Zug,
him.
you feel your armor, the gel armor you're wearing, tingle ever so slightly. Hayden, your hand goes. Aku, weirdly, you feel warmer. Someone resurrected.
This is a prison that's kept a reality bending being in check for millennia. And that's a god?
Wait, I wasn't resurrected by Geb.
Yes, you are.
Hayden was.
No, I wasn't.
No, you weren't. Ignore me. I'm dumb.
I mean, technically, Rasha resurrected Aku. Wait, no. Oh, I resurrected Aku. I forgot.
Yeah, yes, you did. Good
That
job.
whole thing. That. Yeah.
So glad you remember that.
Yeah, you know that really important scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
Pivotal character moment now. Yeah.
just gaslighting myself into remembering it completely differently. Okay. Hayden will turn to Rasha and be like, "Well, can you try speaking to him? How do you normally commune with him?"
Normally, I hear him through the stone, or he speaks to me.
Well, and Hayden gestures at the ground, which is made from stone, I assume.
Yep. Rasha kind of awkwardly puts his hand down. No, but maybe we need to get closer. Rasha kind of begins to make his way down the stairs on the other side.
Is Hayden's hand doing anything? Like, do we see glow? Is it a little twitchy?
It's glowing.
Hayden, maybe stand back.
What? Why?
Your hand. Look at it.
Oh shit.
Just be careful, alright?
Okay. Takes a couple of cautious steps backwards. I
Okay,
feel
don't
like-
worry. I'll cut it off if it looks like it's going to endanger your life.
Cool. Thanks. Very reassuring. Love that.
You all
It
make
looks
perception
like
checks.
completely genuine. Like, yeah, no problem.
Perception
Look
checks,
out for each other,
please.
guys.
I will
Perception?
kill you, but I will cut your hand off. Perception, please.
22.
22.
All of us, or just Barnes?
Everyone. That's a natural one, but that's a 17 because rogues.
Oh, this music's very scary.
9. I do like it.
I lined
20.
up the tunes today.
Zug, what'd you get?
7 for perception.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna message Aku and Barnes. And let me know if that makes sense. The rest of you, though, as you look into the area around, you see depictions on the wall, carvings of stuff some of you have seen before. It's the battle between aboliths, the elementals, and the gods. Including on the right side, the construction, a figure eerily similar to one this, construction of a prison, and it's being left behind. As the other gods turn their back on this solo figure in this prison with something not carved, just simply left with a black circle on the side. As the gods seem to be walking away.
I see Asmodeus in there.
Yes.
All the gods, right?
Yeah.
Together.
Where, sorry?
Along the walls.
Like
DM, I'm
all
just
of
gonna
those? Sorry.
burn a second in a first level spell slot to regain that number of sorcery points.
Yep. Carved on the walls is basically the story of the battle between the gods, the elementals, and the aboleths, and also the imprisoning, perhaps, of Piscathurus by Geb. You also look down the water and you notice it's kind of churning, almost a whirlpool around this thing. And there are kind of carvings deep beneath the water as well that kind of radiate out from this. Looking at this, none of you perhaps are proficient enough, you don't understand. Is this entire thing the cage? Where does the cage begin or end? How much of this room powers this prison?
Trains go through the wall. They don't stop in the corners. They keep going somewhere. I don't know where they're tethered to, or what they're tethered to.
I mean, Geb has been here for an eternity, so could we get Rasha to ask him how we free him without damaging the cage he's made?
Right, Gab made the cage, so can we get him out without these coming with him?
Yeah.
And
She
Barnes probably
continues to
drops his
walk
voice to
forward.
Hayden. And do we trust what Geb has to say about it?
I don't know. But we'll find out.
Rasha is walking and is almost to the desk.
I'm gonna start transcribing a teleportation circle. With the while that he's approaching, I'm gonna bend down and just chalk out some absent-minded little swirlies.
Yep. Okay.
Just to activate it, we then stand in it. So it'll be prepped.
Let me just read this to remind myself.
Similar to what we did with Ghost.
Yeah.
Although actually...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, if that's how it works. Okay, so the portal opens and then closes instantaneously, rather than being there.
Could you do, like, most of the circle, but then, like, not through the very last rune?
What do you think, Dan?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll leave it with a turn left to complete on it then.
Spellcaster as intelligent as Barnes wonders what plane of existence you might be on.
He crouches down, pauses. We're on a snow globe. Huh. Look, that amulet you have for plane shifting. We're in a different plane. We can just go straight back home if we need to.
What? How does it work?
Just, if we all yell bail, you have to use that thing.
I
Take us
see.
home.
Hold on. close do we have to be?
Plane shift, so touching. Hand holding.
Like that time we escaped from Orcus and the Mind Flayers. Daisy chain up and teleport out.
And if you can plane shift away from Orcus, we can do it here.
Yeah, of course. Just,
Great.
you know. How'd I do that?
Just hold it and say there's no place like home, there's no place like home. Click your heels and we'll go back to the material plane.
There's no place like home, there's no place like home.
Yeah, but don't do it now, Zug!
No, I wasn't gonna touch it. I'm just practicing. You know, I'm just
Okay.
practicing. I'm just thinking.
Great, okay. I'll help you when you do it. Alright?
Thank you.
And I'm gonna make a mental note to save a bardic inspiration dice for when Zug uses that. For that imp check there.
That's a reaction.
As Rasha approaches, the figure looks up quickly, snaps up, eyes immediately focuses on Rasha, then each of you. And you see his legs unfold, almost like walking on the thing, walk over. You see him first to Rasha, then to each of you. I'm not quite sure I believe it, but you're all here.
Yes, we are.
Rasha. Zug, Hayden. I've seen you. I've only seen you through my callings. But you're real. You are real. And you're here. Voice isn't loud, but you will hear it crystal clear.
Well,
Please, approach.
After a beat, Hayden strides forward and
yeah, Zug
comes to
immediately
stand
as well.
next to Rasha.
Same.
Aku was
Sorry, go on.
Aku was kind of slowly following Rasha as he was walking up before Geb said anything. And before the rest of the group kind of approach after we hear that voice, Aku kind of
You're
stops
echoing a bit, Luke.
Sorry, echoing, was it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Aku kind of stops next to Rasha, and Rasha will feel like a kind of coldness, like as Aku grabs his wrist, and when he sort of like opens his palm, he sees what he recognizes as one of the very first crafts that he made after coming to the surface. And it's sort of what he sees is very kind of shoddy and like asymmetric and poorly crafted, but to anyone else it's like beautifully decorated. It looks like a kind of the part of a pommel, like just with carvings and delicate pieces of gold wrapped around it in the shape of an eye. And it looks like worn, as if someone has perhaps not looked after it well, but carried it with them for a while. And as he kind of looks at it, he'll hear that Aku kind of breathe a sigh into his mind and say, "I hope you're making the right decision."
She looks down at it, looks up at you, kind of holds your palm, kind of closes it together with him still holding it and takes it in. I am. Thank you. And he kind of looks up to the figure. You see, all of you see, it's not just Rasha, there are a couple of tears. But this entity, Geb, there's also a single kind of golden tear running down. It has been countless eternities since I saw another creature than her. Small mercy you have granted me is... I hope you never need to know the relief. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Do you all have something to say?
Like, just pretty speechless.
Rasha steps forward and it's like, Mr. Geb, sorry, we're here to help you. I hope. Geb. I'd hope so. Could Zug and Rasha, your weapons. Rasha, I told you I was proud of you, and you'll never truly know my joy. But something not of this world, something never before seen. That's the only way to break these chains. Break these bars. When I crafted them, I made them impenetrable to any and all things that existed, that I was aware of. And it's only through your brilliance, for your faith, that something new was made. That's what you need to do. I've been working slowly to turn this entire room into an extension of this cage. I've finished. If you destroy these cages, this cage and these chains, I will be free. And she will not. I have used the last vestiges of my strength to reach out to each of you, help you, and banish her for the shortest period I can. But my strength is failing. And I need your help. Please.
What do we have to do?
Use your axe, Zug. Use your hammer, Rasha. Break the chains.
Sounds simple enough.
Anybody feeling anything? Anybody want to make any rolls? Anybody want to work anything out?
Maybe. Aboleths. Where? No sign of aboleths in here?
Make more perception checks.
Yeah, fuck it. 21.
21,
17.
17,
Oh no.
20. Okay, did you get 20?
Yeah, dirty 20.
Okay. Anyone else rolling?
No.
Yeah, probably out of raw suspicion, yeah. That is a... It rests at a 9.
9. You don't see much. With a 17, Zog?
I didn't roll anything.
Oh, sorry, Hayden, 17, 18. Looking around, the waters are difficult to perceive through. You think you can see the bottom, you think you can see runes, but this space plays tricks on you as much as anything else does that you've seen so far the past couple of hours. Your perception of reality is not the best at the moment. And whilst you don't see anything in the water, you're not sure if you see anything looking in the puddle at this point. And the light shining from Geb causes the water, like, reflects back from the water, making it difficult to see the bottom of. 220s. Water still, you don't see anything. If you move closer to the edge, and Hayden probably does as well, and try to peer down into the bottomless nothingness beneath this figure, briefest of seconds, you think you see something stirring deep in the depths beneath the dark, beneath this creature's feet.
I guess Barnes will stand on the edge of the pool and look down at it and maybe indicate to whoever's closest to him. I guess Asgore standing back, maybe, if he's not approached it. And just whisper to Asgore, "Who do you think sent us that prophecy of apocalypse? Really? Do you think Geb sent it? Do you think the Aboleths did? None of it fits with what we've been seeing here. Unleashing 7 seas and wrath upon the world, terror, souls alive being shaken with undying fear and eternal dread. That doesn't sound like a creature that's a proponent of life."
At this point, you hear an Asgore in his voice in a low tone, sort of semi-whisper. At this point, I'm not sure what the difference.
Yeah, there's no sense worrying. But tell them, Asgore, with your link, warn them about the creatures below. Oh, I imagine Geb will hear regardless, whatever it is.
Well, Geb is divine. Geb will be calm, he still says, semi-begrudgingly. But yeah, the rest of you here. The waters teem with life. Larger than life. Rasha doesn't hear this.
I think Barnes will materialize his sword in his hand just in case. I say just in case. Something will need to be stabbed.
Such as crab or whatever may attack us.
Yeah, just a little crab, maybe.
Crabs are tricksy.
And they wear armor.
I know.
Oh, go on.
You must have lots of questions. concerns, worries. What can I do to assuage them? I've been here. I don't even know how long. It's been maddening. I whispers her lies. I'm not even sure you're real now, or if this is just another bit of false hope. Cruelty I have to endure. Maybe I'm not even the best to tell you what's real or not. I don't know.
My insight check the god, please.
Yep.
Yeah, can one insight check a god?
Absolutely.
You can fucking roll it.
Add a d20 to this.
A D20 to this. Oh,
Not
Jesus.
a d20, to a d6.
A D20.
Oh, okay, 23.
Level
23.
18 Bardic Inspiration. Let's go.
23.
23 or 15?
Yeah.
Can cast bardically inspire me?
15.
Rolled a
I'm not gonna
natural
like
20.
ultimately with these checks. I'm not making you believe anything it's saying.
Yeah,
15.
yeah.
You can't tell. 23. Can't tell.
Where? Yep, figures. Checks out. Good. No further questions, Your Honor.
The
Please
overwhelming force of this creature's personality is overpowering.
He's shaking in the cage.
Yeah, just moving him. He's moved close to the edge, and you see him kind of holding the bars. Hayden, you've felt these before. Feel them now.
Hayden will kind of glance to his side at Zug and Rasha and Aku and kind of wait for someone to give him a nod or tell him fuck no. Well,
Don't touch the bars, Hayden.
I
We
could,
can't know for certain. We can't know for certain anything.
but I could verify. I've met him before, so if I touch the bars and it's the same, then
Then what? That doesn't verify anything.
well, okay, well, what are we gonna do? Because he wants us to smash the chains apart, so we can just do that, right?
I mean, I thought that's what we were going to do anyway. It's pretty obvious.
So,
Smash the chains, and the room should still contain her.
I mean, just a quick question. Where is she?
Meet me. She is vast. This is this cage. I exist mostly down there in the dark with her.
Wait, so she's here? Right now?
Not.
DM.
Yep.
Aku is gonna use Divine Sense to understand what it is. Stop! My basic plan, right?
Honey, my senses divine.
Okay.
So he's trying to feel exactly what it is he's getting from Geb and whether he feels anything below Geb.
Honey, there's nothing lower than Geb.
Right. I'll allow you to roll an insight check with advantage. Because this
Bruh.
would, in theory, this would just tell you if there's a celestial there. which the answer is yes, but I want to give you more.
Ew.
Sight check. What was that, sorry?
Insight check with advantage.
Come on. 19.
19. So you open up you kind of take a moment, open up your senses to celestial aberrations around you. You felt like this once before, but just the sheer overwhelming power that you've opened yourself up to slams you in the face like a truck. The combination of celestial aberration thrums through you. Feel it all around you. You know that there are two, you think, make out separate entities. One dispersed throughout the room. That's the one that rings in your ears and sounds good. And one in the pit that smells like the worst, most rancid egg you've ever smelt in your life. There are indeed two entities in this room. Where they intersect, you do not know. But you know that the celestial is the room as much as it is in the room. And the other is not.
We might not be bullshitting about having infused the room with power and it being a cage once we break his.
Wait, what?
So, like, he's, like, infused the whole room with his power, so even when we break his chains, he's saying that he can leave, but she can't.
You said he might not be bullshitting.
Yeah, he might not be bullshitting.
I mean, as, like, he's kind of, like, trying to distinguish, like, what he feels, like, in the room. Obviously, he's just kind of, like, narrating it as he feels it. So everyone can kind of hear.
I think Barnes will probably in character comment that then. I mean, it checks out, but if it's her talking, not him, then we're dealing with an entity with giga cosmic reality bending brains, so I don't think we'd spot a lie.
Well, can we spot an illusion? DM, I'd like to investigate the deity to see if it's an illusion.
Also, yeah, can I just detect magic this cage?
Yeah. What are you investigating about the thing to check?
I was going to investigate whether it was an illusion or an actual creature as where it stands and what it is.
Using what spell?
Using the spell, use eyes.
It's not an illusion. However, if you touch the bars, let me know. What were you going to cast?
Never mind, I dispel magic, not detect magic, and I don't think dispel magic's going to be very helpful. I'm just going to dispel the god cage. Don't mind me.
With perhaps this puzzle, this conundrum in your ears, and looking at the time, I'll give you a week to think about it. As Aku identifies, there are two entities in this room. One is spread out, the other is deep below. It mingles with the other one, to the point that Aku doesn't know where one ends and the other begins. You all look on in the pained face of Geb, maybe asking for your help, and Rasha, standing up from his knees and drawing his hammer. Deal with that next session. Thanks guys for playing, thanks guys for watching. Next session will be the last one with Clood before she's gone for a long time.
Ever.
Oh,
Forever.
Good luck
Clood is
dying
off to
for her. We're all dying next time.
Clood is off to
Space.
Australia, which obviously hope you have fun, but we'll work out what we're doing with the campaign.
I'm
But
gonna get eaten by a spider, guys.
eaten by a big spider, yes.
Lolth will have me.
Hang out with him, Dan.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm gonna see the dad.
Well,
So why didn't Dan have an Australian accent?
Good point. Drow have Australian accents, maybe? I like
Uh,
this.
for Jamie to sort out for the next drow character that comes along.
Right.
Yeah. Oh. Good night, mate.
No,
Oh,
never
no.
mind. No, abort. Abort mission.